nearly a year and a half, Samoa Joe has been dominant in TNA. He's never been pinned. He's never submitted. He has gone through an incredible list of competitors in TNA. But now it's time to see what happens when Samoa Joe goes one-on-one with Kurt Angle.
And here he comes, the Olympic gold medalist, a man who said that TNA saved his life, and he came here and he picked on the biggest bully he could find. He went right at Samoa Joe. He heard about the undefeated Samoa submission machine. He made a statement with the headbutt from the very first time he looked Joe eye to eye, and then we've been on a collision course for this ever since.
Quite simply, the most intense individual that I've ever seen in professional wrestling. He always strives to be the best at whatever he does. An opportunity now to prove that he is the best. It's the best versus the best. It's time for Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. This is about the bragging rights. Let's go to the ring. Jeremy Borash has the introductions. It's all you, JB.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is your Genesis main event of the evening. When the bell rings, the man in charge, Mr. Earl Hebner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from Universal Studios Orlando, it's your Genesis main event. Introducing, first of all, standing in the corner to my right. He weighed in this morning at 280 pounds and comes to us from the Isle of Samoa. For 18 months, he has been undefeated in TNA wrestling. He is the undefeated Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing his opponents. Standing in the corner to my left, he weighed in this morning at 232 pounds and is professional wrestling's only Olympic gold medalist from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is Kurt Angle.
Quite simply, the most anticipated match in the near 5-year history of TNA. And we're underway. Here we go. It's Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe.
Two guys that make a living out of making people tap out. Two guys that it's not about the pin, it's about it putting your will over the other opponent, making your opponent basically admit he can't go any farther. That's what these guys do, and they do it because they're the best at it. And I mean, this has been a great match since you and I started and seen Samoa Joe come in here. We talked about this match, never thinking it would ever happen.
Never,
right?
never, because of political reasons, obviously. We had dreamed about it. We never thought we would see Samoa Joe against Kurt Angle. Single leg takedown by the Olympic gold medalist as Angle works on the leg of Joe, and you see how quickly Samoa Joe makes his way to the ropes to get the break. It was almost as if when Kurt Angle hit that single leg takedown of Samoa Joe, he was feeling the leg of Samoa Joe, maybe just testing him a little bit to see if he was right for an ankle lock.
Well, these guys do what they do so well, and I mean, Joe is a different animal than Kurt Angle's faced, ever. I mean, Joe's one of those that you can't judge him on appearance, because when you see him in the ring, you realize how quick, how agile, how strong, how vicious, how brutal. Like this, he will just be relentless, and when he gets his sights set on it, and he knows he's close to finishing you off, he won't stop at nothing.
We talked about it on Impact. We analyzed this matchup. Yes, Kurt Angle, the superior, pure wrestler. But when it comes to the striking abilities, you've got to give the edge to Samoa Joe. But now Angle tries to fight back. Series of kicks, up.
Wow! Look at the strength right there of Kurt Angle. That was so close to 300 pounds. And that was a statement. there. Now look at Angle. He just comes over and takes him right over the top rope. Another statement by Kurt Angle.
He hit the release, belly-to-belly overhead. You're right, clothesline him out of the floor, but now Samoa Joe has got Angle. Look out!
Oh, he just grabbed him, slung him right into the guardrail, and you can see Angle grab his head. Oh, man, that's the fourth row. They're trying to have some kind of order. I don't know how you're going to do it with these two guys.
Right, good luck trying to maintain it when you're talking about two of the most intense individuals. I've already said it. Angle, the most intense I've ever seen. And how about Samoa Joe?
And think about Samoa Joe as you look at this replay. Look at how he just swung him with everything he's got. Samoa Joe, ever since that headbutt, we all remember it. Ever since that headbutt by Angle.
Gonna roll him over for a pin. No, Angle able to roll the shoulder.
He's been a man possessed himself, and then last week on Impact, able to come in and get a headbutt himself. And we remember that sight of Angle laying there with blood dripping down his forehead. It's just been, I got you, you got me, back and forth with these two ever since they ran into each other for the first time.
Off the series of uppercuts fired up to the corner. Angle goes right in. Joe moves out of the way, and there was contact made, but it was Angle's shoulder with the steel ring post. Man,
look how hard he went into that steel ring post. I mean, he went full steam. He was trying to take all the air out of Joe, and that's that quickness I was telling you about. Joe will deceive you with his speed, and here he goes, right through the rope, suicide dive, and he knocks him into the rail.
Yeah, actually suicide elbow as well. Elbow suicide at that time by Samoa Joe.
Referee Earl Hebner trying to show some authority out there. These guys are just too focused right now on what they're doing. And now, look at this, Joe brings him over and just drives him around into the steps. And Angle just smashes him and goes over upside down.
Took him at full speed and then just drove him face first right into the steel ring steps.
Look at that look on Joe's face to the referee. I'm telling you right now, I don't know what the heck he's trying to do, but Joe just looks at him like he just wants to swat him like a fly.
Earl Hebner, whoa, intimidated there as Samoa Joe just raised his hand. Earl trying to lay down the law and order, but Samoa Joe not having any of it.
You could see Earl Hebner trying to tell him that he's gonna, now he's counting Kurt Angle, see if he can get back into the ring, trying to make this a match. And with, you know, to follow the rules right here, with these two, it's a war. It's a war. It's about who's the best.
Opening minutes, the striking of Samoa Joe, the incredible quickness and agility of Samoa Joe on display here. And Don, you had just talked about it before he went for that dive through the ropes, and I think it surprised Kurt Angle that someone like Samoa Joe at 280 pounds can be that quick and can be that agile as Angle's trying to regroup out on the floor.
You can see Earl Hebner counting and being very generous with the count. Oh, look at this. Kurt Angle busted right where he was busted before. And look at the blood dripping as he's trying to get into the match, just dripping off of his head already. Unreal. He just smashed him on those steps. And Kurt Angle doesn't look right.
Boy,
oh, man, is he messed up.
I don't know if I'd call that dripping. It's almost like flowing like a faucet from the head of Kurt Angle. And the look on the face of Samoa Joe tells a whole story to me. You can just see how confident he's become. He headbutts him, and you see the remains of Angle's blood. Oh, on the head of Samoa Joe is now Samoa Joe using his hands and his fingers just to further open that cut.
I remember him saying, I want your blood. I want your blood. Well, he's got his blood, and now he's wearing it like a trophy as he's just rubbing it on his body.
And you notice that Kurt Angle was trying to get the blood out of his eyes. When it's flowing down like this at such a rate, it's obviously has to affect the vision of Angle, who unloads with right hands.
Oh, what a slam! Wow! He just snapped it off. Angle went right into it. I think it was the blood in his eyes. He's having trouble saying it out. Joe,
the confident Samoa Joe, maybe too cocky, too arrogant that time with the pin as he laid back on that 3-count attempt, but no, Angle able to keep it moving and get that shoulder up as those cross-face shots by Samoa Joe. And repeated shots again right into the open wound.
Look at this, as Joe in the crowd sensing something right here. Kurt Angle came in, fired up, but Joe, from the moment he basically slammed him into the guardrail. Joe has taken control of this match, and then when he ran him all the way around the ring into the steel steps, Kurt Angle, but look at Angle fighting, nice uppercut right there, and this guy has no quit in him, Mike, we know that.
Trying to make a comeback, trying to mount that comeback off those series of uppercuts. The quick reversal, shot off into the ropes. Joe missed the
Kurt Angle, and Samoa Joe knows the longer the show's the weaker. Kurt Angle's gonna get it. And Joe is just, he's so focused here on the game plan as you see the blood dripping down the face of Kurt Angle. And you know that Samoa Joe can sense it. He can feel it. A new era is here.
If you think about it, Angle mentioned earlier that headbutt that was heard around the world. It was to get someone like Samoa Joe, the top of the food chain, as Angle said here in TNA, get the world's attention. It's what he did, but boy, it has inspired Samoa Joe as Angle tries to come back. Those slaps from the top, and now front face lock from up on that top rope as Angle's perched and positioned up top. Here comes the power, that pure mustering, but Angle reverses it and connects with a DDT.
Wow, he almost let Joe guide himself into that.
Pin,
that's the experience. Has he got it? No way. Joe able to get the shoulder up just in time, Mike. He set him up, and then Joe worked himself right into it, and Angle just used that momentum and slapped him with that DDT right on his head.
Oh, just blood continues to flow from that open wound, almost covering the head and scalp of Kurt Angle. Angle will slowly make his way back up to his feet. Joe at the same time, and both warriors meet mid-ring. Here's the exchange, the slugfest. Who's going to get the better of it?
Nice right there by Kurt Angle. As you see the blood now filling the mat, as it's just painting it basically. As it canvases the mat with the blood, the paint. Now look at this, and again he does it.
German suplex. Yes, he's still got the grip. Gonna try and go for a second one. Joe trying to fight him off with elbows, but can't. And a second German suplex by Angle.
He's not letting go here. It looks like he's gonna try to hit him with the third. Joe gets to his feet. Can Angle do it? Angle, no! But he couldn't quite hold him up.
He tried, Don. He took Joe up.
Wait a minute.
Pin.
1, 2. Oh! Joe able to get the shoulder up.
Boy, it's obvious there that Angle, with this loss of blood, it's really affecting both his vision and his game plan. I don't think there's any question about that as Angle now circles in the ring, and you can feel him getting just fired up by the moment.
Oh, he is. He's psyching himself up now. He's got like a second whip. But look at this. Joe this time uses Angle's momentum and then goes up and takes the knee right to him. He can get so high for a big man. And now he sets him up where he wants, and he kicks him unbelievable on the side of the head.
It looked like Angle was going to try and use the Olympic slam, but boy, ever since that point, it has been all Samoa Joe, including that punctuated kick. Could it be Muscle Buster out of the corner?
He's got it right here, the Muscle Buster. Oh, he nails it. He's going to roll over right here. Can he get the pin?
Go for the pin.
1, 2. Oh, just in time. Kurt Angle got the shoulder off.
For a year and a half, we've seen Samoa Joe use the Muscle Buster. It's always a prelude to either a pin or the Kakita clutch, the rear naked choke. This time, Joe went for the pin, and amazingly, Angle avoids the 3 count. How about that?
Almost Joe just didn't put enough weight right there on Kurt Angle. I don't think he needed to. I think he felt like he could really make a statement. And you hear the crowd screaming their appreciation for these two guys, and look at Joe go right back at it.
And Angle, who got back up to that vertical base, is able to take Samoa Joe and roll him over. Joe charges at him, missed with the clothesline. Angle caught him with the boot. Could it be the Olympic slam?
He hits him with the Olympic slam, and he's got the pin. 1, 2. Oh, Joe not only gets up, he pushes Angle's head away at the last second.
We were just a split second away from seeing the 17-month undefeated streak of Samoa Joe come to an end.
You hear the crowd yelling, make him tap, Mike. Crowd getting so involved, and now Kurt Angle takes the straps off.
That's the signal to everyone. As you see Angle fire up, gonna go for the ankle lock.
Oh, he's got it in right now. And look at Samoa Joe. I don't think he's just never been in this situation in a match before. Will Joe tap out something he's made everybody do? Then he's facing that ring, and now he's trying to get to the ropes, and Kurt Angle's got it set in perfectly. Oh, look at Joe fighting it off.
Perfect counter by Samoa Joe as he rolls through, but then Angle still holding on to the ankle lock. You're right, Don. For a year and a half, we've seen Samoa Joe make wrestler after wrestler tap out. This time, it's Angle with the ankle lock, and again, Joe rolls over to try and take the pressure off.
Wait a minute,
got him.
look at this.
He's got him in the choke.
He's got the choke on him. He was able to kick him in the groin there and get it to roll around, and now look at this. Can you believe how he turned it around, Mike?
Kakita clutch. The rear naked choke is applied. Is Angle going to be able to hang on? Is Angle going to be able to counter this submission move?
You can see right there, Angle's close. Oh man, you can see Orlando looking. Is he going to put his hand down? Oh, Angle trying with everything.
Look at this. Angle's got the ankle
lock on Joe. Now he's got the ankle lock again. Listen to this crowd.
Incredible counter by Angle. Just when it looked like Samoa Joe was on the verge of victory with the rear naked choke. Angle turns it around. And look at this perfect ring positioning. He's got Joe out in the middle of the ring. Ankle lock cinched in.
There's no way Joe can make it. Look at Joe. Joe able again to use his weight and roll him over. These guys, the way they're able to counter is an unbelievable display. Oh, but Joe doesn't have enough of it in him here.
Here it comes.
Wow, he hits him with another slam.
Olympic slam after Joe went shoulder first into the steel. Angle circling over Samoa Joe, who's down, but is he out? He put the straps up. He took him back down again, and he's going to put the ankle lock again.
He's trying to bring him right back in now. Look at this. Is he a fight? Joe's going to fight it off with everything he's got.
Can he get to the ropes? Is he going to tap? He's just this close. You can see just inches away, but Angle pulls him back.
He's reaching for it. He's reaching, and Joe just taps out.
Gentlemen, your winner,
The streak is over. The year-and-a-half undefeated streak of the Samoan submission machine. Samoa Joe has come to an end here in Genesis, and my God, he did it. The Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle, is the first man to defeat Samoa Joe in TNA.
Listen to this crowd. The roof is coming off. Unbelievable that he was able after a year and a half. And they went back and forth, back and forth. And look at it, I just saw Samoa Joe. I swear I saw him ask for a microphone. As the crowd knows they saw something special.
Angle! Angle! You tapped out. They're chanting in unison at Samoa Joe, whose winning streak has come to an end, but he's called.
You goddamn right I tapped out. Because I know what I can recognize when somebody on one day is a better man.
He's admitting that Angle was the better man tonight.
We apologize for the language of Samoa Joe, but obviously it's an intense situation.
But damn it, Angle, if you're half the man I think you are, you'll give me a rematch.
Oh, listen, he's asking for it. You can hear the crowd.
The ball's in your court, Kurt Angle.
He's got the hand up. Will Kurt Angle do it? The crowd yelling one more time.
What's it gonna be, Kurt?
Does Kurt Angle need to do this? What does he have to prove? He's already beaten him here. And Kurt Angle, no, he won't do it. He won't do it.
He did not shake the hand of Samoa Joe. Angle walks away. But we've finally seen the year-and-a-half undefeated streak of Samoa Joe ended by Kurt Angle.
He refused to shake the hand, and you can see the look on Samoa Joe's face. You can see the look on Kurt Angle's face. It's like, I've already done it. I beat you. I don't need to give you a rematch.
What an incredible battle it was. Kurt Angle fighting through the problems with his vision, the blood flowing into his eyes, reapplying the ankle lock repeatedly, time after time, to the point where Samoa Joe, and you can see how much he's favoring Don, you can see how much he's favoring his leg and his ankle. He finally couldn't do it. The crowd applauding Samoa Joe as well.
It was an unbelievable matchup, and you could hear the crowd letting Joe know, but it's Mike the...
Then Angle,
Wait a
I
minute.
guess we gotta do this the hard way.
What? You could see him limping out of this here. crowd getting behind it, yelling, Joe, Joe, here in this situation. I think that's out of respect for what they saw, Mike.
I don't think there's any question about that, Don. This crowd on hand here at the Impact Zone for Genesis. They realize what they've witnessed, a very special moment here in TNA. The unbeaten streak of Samoa Joe comes to an end. Kurt Angle is the man who does it. And I think it's time to relive some of the very special moments in this matchup.
You can see right there, that was the beginning when the tide turned in Joe's favor, when he was able to swing Angle right into the guardrail, and you could see Angle grab the head, and oh, that slam right there, after the blood was already flowing when Angle got hit into the steel steps.
That was another turning point, no question. Angle applies the ankle lock here. Samoa Joe doing everything within his power to avoid submitting, to keep the winning streak intact. But the most intense individual in professional wrestling history, Kurt Angle, yes, he did it, and there you see it. The refusal of the handshake. Kurt Angle would not shake the hand of Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe asked for it right there, and he did. He held him right there to the cusp, and then just in your face, what do I have to prove?
You ready for Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe? I know I am. I know everybody here in Orlando, Florida is ready. I know you are at home as well. We're going to send it to the ring. Here's JB with the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, live from Universal Studios Orlando, is scheduled for one fall and is the rematch the world demanded to see. When the bell rings, the man in charge, TNA senior official, Mr. Rudy Charles. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing, standing in the corner to my left, he weighed in this morning at 235 pounds and comes to us from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He is professional wrestling's only Olympic gold medalist. This is Kurt Angle. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing, standing in the corner to my right. He weighed in this morning at 282 pounds and comes to us from the Isle of Samoa. He is the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe.
Those eyes will burn a hole right through you. You talk about intensity, you talk about a man on a mission. That's Samoa Joe.
Well, I think back to Thursday night on Impact when we had that incredible all-star war, and Samoa Joe thought that Kurt Angle was there to see to his back because he was there to watch his. And then when he got hit with that Olympic slam, I think that has just stuck with Samoa Joe. He's not forgotten it. And he's looking at a situation where he needs to win this for himself. You know, it's not about streaks anymore, Mike. We know that. It's about pride. And Joe needs this for himself, but when you're going up against maybe the greatest wrestler in the history of this business, it's almost an impossible task.
Boy, I couldn't agree more. You're right. Winning streaks, they're out the window. Pride, honor, respect. Quite possibly the two best wrestlers in professional wrestling today. It's been a treat to see them, Don. It was great at Genesis, and we saw Kurt Angle here in the early going. He rushed Joe into the corner. He takes him back out to the middle of the ring. He uses a back heel trip to take him down, and then a top wrist lock to keep him neutralized. It's Kurt Angle in control here in the opening minute.
I got a chance to talk to Kurt Angle, and he told me that he's going to be using his wrestling style that won him the Olympic gold medal a lot. Because he said in this case, it's something that Samoa Joe does not see very often, and nobody can use it against him. And he's going to do everything he can to bring back that style, that mat wrestling. And you can see him going right there for the single leg takedown, and he's going to do what he can to beat Joe in a way that Joe's never seen before.
And then turns him over with the half crab, and Samoa Joe quickly able to make his way to the ropes and get the break. Oh, man, and then did you see that? On the break, did you see the kick from Angle?
Oh, just a little love tap right there. Just a little alarm to let him know he's right here.
Samoa Joe, so incredibly quick, so incredibly agile for a man of his size and his body frame. Kurt Angle, you felt it last month at Genesis. You've got to look out for the chops, the knees, the kicks. Samoa Joe's a great striker. How's that? You talk about a great striker. A stiff, short arm clothesline that will, it would rock anybody in professional wrestling, and it just sent shivers up my spine, and I'm sure it just rocked the hell out of Angle. And look at these shots, punch after punch in the corner, and now putting the boot to the chest of Kurt Angle. Samoa Joe has been unleashed.
He's just going crazy right there. He saw an opportunity, and you know, you heard Angle talk about that he knows there's a chance he can get paralyzed in this ring. And you heard Joe talk about it. He said, yeah, I know he's had a broken neck, and I'll go right after it. And he did right there, slamming him on the back of his head. And then he just kept going. And look at Joe. He's just not stopping. He's going in the body shots, head shots, anything that he can to take that momentum right off of Angle from the start.
Couldn't agree more. You laid it out for everybody. Samoa Joe, he's physically taking it to Kurt Angle and working on the neck and head of Angle. He knows what he perceives as a weakness, and the 280-plus pounder just lifted and elevated Angle over the top rope. And wow, Kurt Angle just crashed on the floor.
I mean, look at that look in Joe's eyes. I mean, it's almost, it's not even a look of anger. It's a look of determination. It's a look of a mission that he's put himself in tonight. And you can see he's calculating everything that he does.
It's a look that tells me that he wants retribution here, that he wants to gain a little bit of payback. And as much as Angle was in control in the opening minutes, Samoa Joe is turning around, and look at Angle fight back with those shots, my God! Right and left, and then a European uppercut.
Oh, you can see the look in Angle's eyes as he tries to get his focus back, and he hit Joe with some wicked rights right there. Oh, Kurt Angle just goes right over the top, right on top of Joe and levels him.
Body at risk. You think Angle cares? Right over the top. Tells the cameraman to get out of his way and puts the boots to Samoa Joe.
Puts it right into the side of Samoa Joe's head. And then he goes over here. Oh, man. He caught it right into the corner. Right into the corner of that steel steps. And he hits him again right into the face. Look at this.
Slapping and shot after shot right into the face of Samoa Joe.
Well, I mean, he's a little payback there when Joe was just face punching him right after another, and now look at Angle returning the favor. I mean, you can just feel the intensity as this thing goes on.
From both of these competitors, and what have we said, Don, since his arrival? There's no one that's more intense of a competitor in professional wrestling than Kurt Angle. At points during this matchup, we've seen that match by Samoa Joe. But now the complexion of the bout has turned in favor of the Olympic gold medalist. And Angle, you can see, he's prepared for this. He's waiting in the corner. He's allowing Samoa Joe to get back up to his feet, but just momentarily, because he slides through, connects with a kick, and Joe goes into the guardrail.
Didn't quite get it with the full force, but he got it with the full force with that knee. And then you saw the right, and look at Joe, fired himself up, screaming with every blow. I mean, Samoa Joe right now knows that when you get that momentum, you go right after it and you don't stop.
Physicality unparalleled in professional wrestling. Seeing these two men just go at each other. Everything on the line here in this one and only rematch. Another uppercut in the corner. Angle going to try and shoot the 280-pounder across, and does. As he charges in, Joe's prepared. He's ready. Got the elbow up. But wow, Kurt Angle just met Samoa Joe and knocked him down like a big oak tree.
I mean, he caught him right there in the neck, right there in the chin. And I mean, and what I like about this right now, he could be going for a pin. What he's doing, I think, is measuring up Joe. He wants to calculate it himself and then show Joe why he's considered the best. And look at that strength as he just suplexes him over.
Off the suplex, here's the pin attempt, and barely a 1 count before Samoa Joe rolls the shoulder, and again a 1 count from referee Rudy Charles. Angle going to go back to the wrestling basics here, and I think that's a smart strategy on his part.
And you can see him squeezing on the ribs right now, and I think he senses something with Joe right there as he's just pulling on the ribs, pulling hard, and Joe trying to get loose of that grip, and he puts his hand in the middle. And look at this! He's rolling can see Rudy Charles checking, and it almost looks like we're watching an Olympic wrestling event right now.
Submission hold applied. You see that Samoa Joe has that move keyed. He's got the key lock on Kurt Angle, who rolls over now, uses his weight against Samoa Joe, and gets a near fall.
Actually, Samoa Joe's own arm was keeping Kurt Angle's shoulder from touching the mat right there. That was a wild situation, and again, you're watching mat wrestling right here, and it's two guys just trying to show each other who's the better man.
Samoa Joe, known for that ground and pound mixed martial arts style. He has such a wide variety of training methods. Traditional pro wrestling, that's a part of it as well, but also that MMA, that submission and ground game that he can bring that enables him, I think, to match Kurt Angle here, and it's exactly what we're seeing. Right hand after right hand, the right to the jaw, chop to the chest. Here comes Joe.
Oh, he missed his Kurt Angle. It looked like he was going to be taking him, and then he set him up, and that's that experience that he has. I mean, at the last second, he dropped down, and Joe thought he was going to take Angle over the top.
Did you see the way that Joe hit the ropes, and you see the mark on the arm and I believe on the chest and neck of Samoa Joe? When he went into that steel cable, he had no idea it was coming. Like a whiplash gun when he went right in, as Angle was able to move out of the way and avoid the contact.
You can see there, these guys are like, heavyweight fighters as they talk to each other as they go. Joe now trying to get some steam.
Look out!
Oh, and he just gets belly to belly right there by Kurt Angle, and man, Kurt Angle's got momentum rolling right now.
Oh, the overhead release suplex by Angle, just what the doctor ordered. Great crowd here at Turning Point, showing their support for both of these men as Angle goes for the pin. 2 count only before Joe rolls the shoulder. Kurt Angle almost went up 2-zip against Samoa Joe in one-on-one competition.
And you can see now applying the knee to the back, gonna pull back on the neck. I mean, Kurt Angle just putting on a clinic right now. Samoa Joe has had some flurry. Samoa Joe has shown us some brilliance, some glimpses of brilliance, but right now you can see it looks like he's just losing the air. So different than that facial expression that we've seen on Samoa Joe earlier.
That was more than a chin lock from Kurt Angle, at least in the opinion of referee, senior official Rudy Charles. He felt that Angle had it down right across the throat of Samoa Joe, that he was cutting off the air to Samoa Joe, and it looked that way when we had that great camera shot, that close-up in the ring.
You can see there Kurt Angle also grinding the chin into the shoulder right there of Samoa Joe, and that's just one of those things that you don't realize. You grind that chin in there hard, and it just causes intense pain. I mean, that's the veteranship right there. That's all the years of experience of Kurt Angle. And let me tell you something. In mat wrestling, that's the kind of thing that you do to grind out your opponent. And when you have periods like that, and he's bringing out all the stops.
Who better to know every trick of the trade than Kurt Angle? The series of elbow shots momentarily allows Joe to come back, but then Angle cuts him off, swinging a miss with the clothesline.
Look at the strength of Samoa Joe! And I don't know where he found that from. He didn't look like he had it, and he just shows you what kind of a competitor that he is.
Released him overhead. What a suplex, guys. Can we take another look at this? In the truck, we got a replay of this. There it is.
Oh, and you can see Kurt Angle had a bad landing. I think he landed bad on the knee, I think. I just, the intensity of the crowd, you can feel the electricity. They know they're watching something special.
Samoa Joe dug deep for that suplex. He's slow to get back to his feet. They meet in mid-ring. Joe connects, blocks the punch from Angle. Joe connects again and blocks. That's 3 straight times. He blocked him and hit him with a shot. To the ropes, decked him with the clothesline. Angle to his feet, dropped him a second time. But look how quickly Angle gets right back up. What a competitor. That time, chest burst into the corner.
Joe's got him.
Choke applied.
Oh, what a headbutt right there by Angle.
And after the headbutt, there it is. He's got the German. He hit him with 1 German suplex. On the head again. He maintains his grip. He maintains the contact. 280 pounds overhead. Gonna go to the well for a 3rd time.
You can see Kurt Angle right there. Joe looks like, oh man, he hits him. Samoa Joe, for every time he turns it around and gets the momentum, the Olympic gold medalist able to turn it back in his favor.
Angle challenges Joe to get back up to his feet and take more of a beating. Samoa Joe came so close to putting that rear naked choke on. I don't think he had it fully cinched in and applied before Angle butted him, and then Angle takes control. The 3 Germans, gonna go there, Olympic slam, but instead the choke applied. Ankle lock, ankle lock. This is what he beat him with. Can he beat him a second time? Is Joe gonna tap?
Again, Joe just didn't quite have the strength to turn it around, but then he does. Oh man, you know, Samoa Joe was just testing it. He waited to see if he could do the momentum, and then he breaks the knee right up to the chin of Kurt Angle and sets him up with a top rope. And could Joe be getting this momentum back?
Could it be the muscle buster that he's setting him up for?
What a kick! How does he do that for a man that size?
Angle never saw it coming. Is he going to feel this muscle buster? Oh boy, there's no doubt.
Oh, look at this! He's got him! One!
Oh man!
Again, he's got the ankle lock!
Submission applied. Look at the position. Dead center, middle of the ring. The place is going nuts because they're anticipating Samoa Joe to tap out a second time. The tuck and roll worked once. Can it work a second time, or can Joe come up with something else?
Look at how Angle gets to his base. Angle got to his feet. He doesn't want that to happen to him again, and now.
You see, Joey said no. Joe said no.
And again he tries it, and again he's able to use his weight. And if he didn't have that weight advantage, I'm telling you though, that's how smart Joe is. He knows that and he uses it.
Olympic slam.
Oh man, he just one right
Here
after another.
Here's one,
two. Oh, he gets up just in time. And Angle can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
Angle thought he had him pinned.
When Kurt Angle hits the Olympic slam, the 1, 2, 3 is what you've grown to expect, but Samoa Joe stays alive.
Listen to this crowd. They respect both. And now Kurt Angle takes the strap off right there. And now he knows that he goes right back at that foot, right back at the ankle lock, and he's just yanking on it right there.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you at this point? When it's been so successful for you in the past, when you beat Samoa Joe with it, tuck and roll this time is blocked by Angle.
Wait, look at this.
Shoulders down, oh man.
How's Samoa Joe able to get the reversal? And now look at him as he puts in the Coquina Clutch.
There it is. He's got the clutch. He's got the rear naked choke. Angle trying to fight through the pain.
He's holding him right there. You can
He's
see.
got his arm. He's going to tap.
Oh, is he going to do it?
Oh, God, what's he going to do?
Oh, look at him. He's fighting it. He's fighting it. Stay right there on the... There. Oh, man.
Now the ankle lock applied. Joe.
Kurt Angle turned it around.
Samoa Joe's in trouble.
Oh,
Angle's got him positioned perfectly. Now, this is what Angle was looking for.
You can see Joe realizes he was so close. He'll never get that chance again. It's Kurt Angle again. You see Joe again fighting him. And now he's got it again.
Coquina clutch. Rear naked choke. What's he going to do?
He's holding his hand up.
He's trying
Is
not
he
to
gonna
tap.
do it?
He's trying not to tap.
No, he's holding with everything he's got. Kurt Angle. And now look at it, Kurt Angle's arm. And it looks like he's losing his hair.
He's on the verge here of being unconscious. You see referee Rudy Charles checking to see if there's still some life in Angle.
Look at Kurt Angle now. He's got it. He's grabbed the ankle of Joe. And he fights back. Oh my gosh. How was he able to stop it? And now again he's got the ankle.
Oh no. Joe in trouble again. And now Angle sits down with the ankle lock. Scissors the leg to cap it off.
Pulling with everything that he's got. You can see the pain on Joe's face as he's fighting it. He's got to reach through the pain, and I don't think he can.
Samoa Joe, he's still several feet away from the ropes. He's got a long way to go. Can he use his weight advantage? Can he use his size and strength to get to the ropes? He's not doing it. He stopped him. Kurt Angle's got him. Joe digging down. Joe digging down so deep.
Rudy Charles, look at the determination as he gets a hold of the ropes. Oh my God, Samoa Joe.
But will Angle break it? Wow, on the verge of the 5 count from referee Charles there. It got all the way to 4 before Angle would relinquish control of the ankle lock.
Oh, look at him go right at the ankle. He goes and stomps on it. He knows there's no feeling in that ankle. He knows there's no blood in that ankle. And that's why he goes right after it.
Truer words have never been chanted. You're damn right this is awesome. This is TNA. Angle, big shots. Rock Joe, 3 right hands. Samoa Joe, precarious position. Up in the corner turnbuckles. What's Angle going to position him for here? You don't often see Angle go...
No, look at the
suplex,
strength as he's
suplex.
getting Joe up top here.
He's trying to belly him from the middle rope, but Joe won't have anything to do with it.
Oh, headbutt, a headbutt. 3 headbutts in a row by Samoa Joe. And that fights Kurt Angle off right there.
Right to the forehead and right across the bridge of the nose of Kurt Angle. Samoa Joe connects with those headbutts. Joe up on top.
Oh, look out. Whoa! Kurt Angle got up there so quick. And then nails him with the
Here it
suplex.
is.
1, 2, it's over. No! No! Samoa Joe fights out of it. Wow!
Both Angle and Samoa Joe trying to fight through what has been an incredible amount of pain that each man has felt in this so special rematch. It's Angle first up to his feet. Joe back up to the base. Here it comes, Olympic Slam. No!
Oh, look at this!
Armbar instead. Arm drag off the Olympic Slam. Oh, Samoa Joe's so prepared for all of Angle's moves.
But he can barely hold his weight on that foot after Angle has been torquing it on it all night, and then you see referee Rudy Charles gets hit right there in the face. Hit right there in the eye.
Unfortunate collision here. Angle and Joe collide, and then Angle knocks referee Rudy Charles down. Rudy Charles has been hit in the eye, and Samoa Joe applies the Coquina clutch.
But there's no referee right here, as you can see, Samoa Joe, and he's tapping
Angle's
out.
tapping.
He's tapping out, but the referee doesn't know. And oh man, Kurt Angle is tapped out. Can you believe this?
And Samoa Joe, I think, is under the impression here that he's won the match.
He knows he's won the match, but
Rudy
he's not
Charles
officially won the match because the referee, and now look at Joe.
I think Joe realizes it now, that he doesn't hear a bell. So he knows that even though Angle tapped out, the referee didn't see it.
Oh, low blow right there by Kurt Angle. Oh, he shot him right from behind. What was that?
Never expected to see that from Kurt Angle.
Not after the great match that these guys have had. You don't need to do a cheap shot like that.
Shortcut by Angle. The low blow. And wait a minute. Angle headed over here to the broadcast position. What's going on?
I have no idea.
Goes past us. He's got a steel chair that he took from the timekeeper from the bell ringer.
I think he's mad that he tapped out. He knows that he hasn't officially lost, but he knows he tapped out.
I think you're
and
right.
He's angry, and he's mad, and he's going to take it out on Samoa Joe. Oh, but he missed it.
Oh, and the chair flip came back. It sprung back right into Angle's face. Joe's got him hooked around the trunks.
He's trying to grab those straps, and
There
now
it
he
is.
pulls him in.
Got him in again.
He's got him in.
Rear naked choke. Is he going to tap a second time?
He's holding on for dear life. As you can see, referee Rudy Charles. Is Kurt Angle going to tap out? No, he grabs the ankle again. Oh, and he pulls it back. Joe tried to get it into place. Look at it, and he taps out. Joe's won.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe.
You and I have done this for nearly 5 years, big boy. You ever seen anything like that?
So different than any other match you'll watch. So different than any other match you'll call. Two warriors just putting it all on the line. Who's the better man? And it looked like it was Angle. It looked like it was Joe, and it went back and forth.
It's not only this rivalry, this grudge between these two that's been so competitive, and recently it's been fueled by that personal attack that we saw by Kurt Angle recently on Thursday Night Impact. But then when Cornette dangles the biggest carrot of all and gives an NWA World Heavyweight title shot to the winner of this match, just makes it bigger than ever.
And you know what? When you watch how this whole thing came about, I love that move by Jim Cornette, because in my mind, after whoever wins this, after what they've gone through, deserves the title shot. And we will have an NWA World Champion after the Elimination Rules match later on tonight. And then we'll know who they're going to face. I mean, think about how important these next few matches are.
Almost like tastes great, less filling, if you can hear this crowd as they chant for both Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. You text message to TNA Mobile and you said Samoa Joe 57%, Kurt Angle 43%, and it's probably split just about like that here in the Impact Zone at Final Resolution.
And you know what? That is an amazing thing to me, is that the crowd would feel that way. I mean, here's a man with a resume like Kurt Angle. You would think, I mean, I thought he might dominate that from the public, just for so many people that might not know the history of Samoa Joe. But I'll tell you something, the TNA fans have seen this guy develop in the close to 2 years that he's been here. They know what Samoa Joe's all about. They know this guy is going to be a champion for a lot of years to come, and they voted accordingly.
Just shows the level of respect that the fans have for Samoa Joe. That sort of respect comes when you have a 1.5-year winning streak, doesn't it? Check this out. Angle sent out to the floor, and Joe just challenging him, getting right in his face, daring him to get back inside the 6 sides.
Mike, how much of this match in your mind is about pacing? Is about just finding every chance you can to catch every breath that you can. You know, no matter what, you're going another 28 minutes. And then when an opportunity comes, you've got to put it all on the line.
You have to. Because, Don, it is, in that 30-minute time limit, the most pins or submissions, and who knows how many that's going to be. It could end up 1-0. So you're right. Yes, it's about pacing. But at the same time, boy, Don, you can't wait. You can't sit back. You can't really be defensive about it. You've got to go on the offense. You've got to get that first fall and then react accordingly.
You know, it's so much strategy that's got to be involved in a match like this. I wonder how guys are going to react when they get into submission holds. I mean, it's just so much going on out there in these guys' minds. They have to really look at the big picture, Mike.
And you would have to anticipate that the possibility sure exists for us to see pinfalls via submission. Falls won by submission. I mean, let's face it, Kurt Angle, he's got the ankle lock. Samoa Joe, that Kakina clutch, that rear naked choke that garnered him so many victories in that 1.5-year winning streak.
You'll notice that Kurt Angle takes every chance that he can to get out of the ring, size things up. I think that's his experience. I think he knows after what happened the second match when Samoa Joe won that there's no more of that intimidation factor that he had to think that had to be going through Joe's mind at some point. I mean, until you beat somebody, you always wonder if you can. Well, he knows that Samoa Joe can beat him. And Samoa Joe knows that he can beat him. And that's why it's going to be mind games. Oh, nice shot by Angle off the rope.
Angle leaves his feet to drive his shoulder right into Samoa Joe, and he took Samoa Joe, the 280-pounder, right down to the canvas. The measuring here and set up, European uppercut, rocks and snaps the head of Samoa Joe back whiplash style, and again, there it is.
He catches it right under that chin. Oh, nice shot there. You saw Joe try to give a shot back, but a third shot underneath the chin, and man, that just put Joe to the mat.
Did you see that one? Then Angle answered that one punch from Joe with a short right, and then connected with another uppercut.
I think he realized he'd stunned him. I mean, that's one of those things, too. You hit it right, I mean, a guy can bite his tongue off. I mean, literally. That can happen with a shot like that to the lower jaw.
Reversal now. Angle fired into the corner turnbuckles, then comes out, and Joe meets him right in mid-ring and decks him with a clothesline.
You know, the amazing thing about watching Samoa Joe here in TNA is maybe your first impression when you see him, but within 10 seconds of seeing him in the ring, all you see is a vicious killer. I mean, somebody that will stop at nothing to inflict pain, and he's done it against anybody and everybody.
That's what I tell everybody about Samoa Joe. It's that old cliche, don't judge that book by its cover. Watch Samoa Joe.
Whoa! And there you go.
And he'll blow you away with a move like that.
You'll never imagine a guy that size can get a kick up that high. And he'll do it all through a match.
Pin, here's two, just two as we approach the 5-minute mark. 5 minutes gone in this 30-man Iron Man rules matchup. Again, most pins, most submissions in that half hour to be declared the winner of the rubber match.
I mean, that's a big leg to be kicked by. I mean, the weight behind it is unreal. And now, look at Joe as he places the arm behind his shoulder right there. You can see the pain on Kurt Angle's face as he's trying to maneuver out. But you don't want to get into mat wrestling with the Olympic gold medalist. That can go bad for you in a hurry.
Front face lock now applied by Samoa Joe as Kurt Angle tries to power him into the corner, gets the break from the referee, and on the break from Earl Hebner, Kurt Angle first with the shoulder, and then the repeated kicks. I think that's a smart move here by Angle. Look what he's doing to Joe.
Well, he knows
that wheels away.
He knows that Joe had that knee problem a while back, and he's going right at it, maybe to see if he can expose it again. Joe not showing any weakness on it, but a couple shots like that might bring that payment. Look at this. Look at the strength.
Oh, my. Belly to belly, releases him overhead, and you know what? He should be proud of a move like that. Think of the double effect that those kicks have. They not only limit Joe and take away his advantage and his opportunity to use those various kicks that he loves to employ, at the same time, you weaken Samoa Joe for a potential ankle lock by Kurt Angle.
Oh, man, he applies the foot right into the windpipe. Anything you can to take the air away from your opponent where you can't catch your breath. especially this early in the match, it's got to be a big advantage. And look at Kurt just showing that strength, and I don't know how many shots you can give a guy that size.
Go. Just barely got the one count off the backdrop suplex before Joe able to power Angle off. Boy, I was surprised at how quickly Joe was able to kick out after that move. And Angle going to try and neutralize him again. It's back to the basics with a move like this, but this one is so effective because he's not only keeping Samoa Joe down on the mat, but what you talked about earlier, taking his wind away from him, and referee Earl Hebner checking so closely to see if it's a choke. And obviously, Earl Hebner just inches away. And
look at his face, Mike.
Yeah,
I mean, look at the face of Samoa
eyes.
Joe. His eyes are
eyes.
rolling in his head. He can't breathe. I mean, maybe it'd be smart right here to get yourself out of this hold. I mean, it's...
Well, that's easy for you to say, isn't it? You don't have an Olympic gold medalist trying to hold you down in the middle of the ring.
No, I was just thinking maybe even go ahead and give yourself up one, all I was saying. I mean,
Really?
you still got 22 minutes. That's what I was thinking, but Joe able to fight it off.
And Angle connects, knee to the midsection, lateral press to cover in a 2 count. Goes right back to the pin. I love that. What tenacity. And when it comes to intensity, let's face it, you've never seen anybody in professional wrestling more intense than Kurt Angle. Again, basics, snapmare, and then neutralizing Samoa Joe.
Right back at it again as he puts that elbow right underneath the chin, and you can see Joe just having a hard time catching that breath. The thing about this is for either wrestler, if you do get pinned or you do submit, this match is not over.
No, but it puts you at quite a disadvantage, doesn't it? Especially when you look at a clock that's nearing 21.5 minutes. We're 8.5 minutes in. We've yet to have a pin or a submission for either Samoa Joe or Kurt Angle. So in the back of your mind, you've got to be thinking, well, this could be a tough position if you fell down 1-zip.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know you would go defensive this early, but I mean, right now, Samoa Joe is just lifeless down there. And I mean, you can see referee Earl Hebner checking. But I mean, the eyes, it looks like he's about to pass out, and he's fighting to come to. And somehow Joe works himself around and gets his foot on the ropes right there. You got it on there?
You might, yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
Referee Hebner's going to take Kurt Angle and make him break. You might say it's fortunate that Samoa Joe found the ropes. At the same time, ring awareness. And even when Kurt Angle was wearing him down, and you talked about, you saw the eyes rolling in the back of his head, taking his breath, taking his wind away, Joe was still able to get the rope break.
Well, he just goes for them uppercuts one after another. Now he kicks Joe back down. Kurt Angle knows he's got Joe in a very vulnerable position right here. But he has, the thing is he's got to take advantage of it, Mike. If he doesn't get a pin or a submission, as we've seen Rudy Jack Melendez and Willie Urbina describing the action, if he doesn't get one now, he might be missing a huge opportunity.
Spanish broadcast team looks on. They're as interested as we are in this Iron Man match, and could this be the move that Samoa Joe needs to turn the matchup around? Angle's been in control.
He has been, and Joe needed something like this to counter Kurt Angle and just find some way, but you can
Check out the clock. We're under 20 minutes, 10 minutes in to the 30-man Iron Man match, and here's the exchange. Who's going to get the better of it? Momentarily, Joe. Series of shots. Rock Angle. But look at the quick reversal. Shoots Joe off. Who puts on the brakes? And there goes Angle to the floor.
Nice counter right there. Now this is a great opportunity for Samoa Joe. He's got Kurt Angle outside. It's a chance for him to catch his breath. He's going right after him. Wow! He goes right through the ropes and knocks Kurt Angle into the rail, and it looked like Joe caught his head also. Wow!
And you're not kidding it, Dick. Boy, we got to have another look at this one, guys, in the truck. It was a move where Joe exposes himself when he goes flying right through the ring ropes. When he crashes down into Angle, you're right, Don. It looked at the same time like he caught his head on the guardrail.
I don't know if we can see that again here, but right now you see. Okay, we can see right now with the action that Joe grabs him and pulls him right back into the ring. I'll tell you what, if he would have hit him a little cleaner, that might have just put Angle out.
You're right, pin attempt now as Angle's rolled back in. But no, Samoa Joe, you can sense the frustration here. The hands on the hips, hitting himself in the head, almost as if, what do I have to do? And here comes Angle right back.
And when you get the momentum, you've got to just apply the pressure so much and try to get a point of, oh, what a power slam. I mean, he just
snaps it off, follow cover, 2 count.
It's amazing how he did. It looked like Joe was out of breath, and now look at that face. You can feel it coming back. He's shaking it all off, and he knows he's got some momentum here, Mike.
Big power move puts momentum on the side of Samoa Joe. Iron Man rules, rubber match to decide this best of three. Look out!
Oh, man.
Overhead release suplex. Yes, the Olympic gold medalist. He just takes Samoa Joe and tosses that 280 around, doesn't he? Follow cover. Joe's got the shoulder up before 3.
12 minutes gone right here, less than 18 to go. Nobody has got a pin or a submission at this point.
And again, keep in mind, the winner of this matchup will go on to face the winner of the three-way bout upcoming for the NWA World's Heavyweight title. That all goes down next month, and against all odds, Angle fired off into the corner. Here comes Joe. Caught him with that forearm shot right into the chest.
Joe trying to set Kurt Angle up here to be able to apply something they can really take. Oh, going for that muscle buster.
Exactly what he's going to go for.
He's
out
got
of the corner.
Oh, Angle fights
Look at
off.
Angle roll through. Oh, and Joe able to roll through and avoid the pin attempt.
Oh,
Here
wait
it
a
is.
minute.
Rear
Look at
naked choke,
this.
rear naked choke. Katina clutch applied, ring positioning perfect.
He's right in
Dead
the
center.
middle.
Middle of this excited ring. What are you going to do, Angle?
Oh, this is you can't let go here at all. You've got to hold on with everything you've got.
He
Oh,
tapped.
look at that.
He
He taps
tapped.
out.
Joe wins fall 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, Samoa Joe wins fall number 1. It is 1-0 Samoa Joe.
You know, that might have been a good move there by Kurt Angle.
I think what you're talking about is you're anticipating the same thing I am as you see the scoreboard showing Samoa Joe going up 1-0 as we are under 17 minutes in this Iron Man match. I think what you were going to say was you feel, as you hear the crowd chanting, you tapped out, you think that Angle may have tapped out quickly so that he did not get totally worn down and taken out by that rear naked choke.
That's experience right there, Mike, because, he realized he was in the middle of the ring. You said it. He had him perfectly placed in the middle. He was not getting to the ropes to break it. And, I mean, the longer he holds him there, I mean, look, eventually he's going to pass out. So I think that was one of those moves where, okay, it's risky, but you get out of the hold and you get your bearings.
The pressure cooker that is this Iron Man match, and boy, does the pressure now go on the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. Down 1-0 to Samoa Joe, and took a shortcut right there. Raked the eyes at Joe, caught him with a big blow to the side of the head.
I mean, when you're in a match for 30 minutes, in my opinion, there are no shortcuts. You're going to be stunned no matter what. Oh, but sometimes you've got to do anything you can to change the momentum into your favor. And
Look at
Joe,
Angle,
and Kurt Angle's done it.
You just talked about it. Angle just rocked Joe, and you see Joe holding on to his jaw because I think that last right hand was right on the money.
Well, you can see him now. He's pulling on the neck of Joe, and you can feel he's just going at it a little stronger. And he knows he's got to do the same thing to Joe. He's got to make him tap out to tie this up. And look at him just pull back and grind, and he's positioned perfectly on the back of Samoa Joe.
Oh, you're not kidding. Cranking back with that reverse chin lock. Samoa Joe fighting through the pain and pressure. Referee Earl Hebner, well, you have to admit, he has been right on top of this situation the entire matchup as we reach the halfway point of the Iron Man bout. We're under 15 minutes. Samoa Joe leads 1-0.
Oh, just fighting it with everything he can. You can see he's just trying to do anything I think he can to get his breath. And now he just uses his brute strength to get to all fours, and that's what he had to do.
That's step number 1. Step 2 is to get back up to the vertical base. He's accomplished that. Tries the elbows. It caused Angle to break the hold, but Angle goes right back. Slam, here comes. Went to that Olympic slam to take him overhead, but Joe was ready. Talk about well scouted.
Wow, I mean, Samoa Joe, I think that was one of those that he was expecting the whole time and what he would do, and he was prepared. And then he comes off those ropes and hits him with that flying knee. Holy cow, he just leveled.
Look at him pick the Olympic gold medalist up by the singlet and goes right back again. Oh, here's ankle lock
Oh, wait
applied.
a minute, he's got it. He's got the ankle lock in it.
And again, look where he's got him.
Oh, he's got him in the middle there, and it looks like Joe's a little closer to the ropes. Oh, he taps out, and he does the same thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kurt Angle wins a fall. They are tied at 1 fall each.
I'm going to try and get inside the mind of Samoa Joe here and agree with you and say that much like what we saw earlier with Kurt Angle, I think Samoa Joe tapped out at that point, maybe even quicker than we've seen in the past from the ankle lock, because he knew in his mind on what the situation was. Caught in the middle of the ring, Angle with the ankle lock perfectly applied, and I think he feels like if I tap out now, yes, it evens it at 1-1, but it doesn't injure my ankle to the point where I'm not able to continue and lose the match to Angle because of that.
Well, look at the way he's limping. Obviously, Kurt Angle has such a great grip on that ankle lock. Obviously, because, I mean, Joe right now still can't even walk straight. I mean, he really tore into that ankle. I think the pain was so sheer, he had to get out of it, like you said, that quickly. It just makes things right back to even. But you got to wonder what it does mentally, and you got to wonder how bad he hurt his ankle.
And of course, you mentioned it earlier, and I think it bears repeating. Samoa Joe recently suffering that knee injury, and you see that knee brace that Samoa Joe wears to the ring. And it's almost like it's a target for Kurt Angle, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's a bullseye. No doubt about it. He's gone after it, and man, what a shot.
Off the uppercut, lateral press, and 2, no.
How good is that strategy looked by Kurt Angle earlier when he tapped out quickly, when he knew he was in the center of the ring? Now look at him. He's got Joe everywhere he wants him. He's getting ready to take a lead right here if he can keep this up, because Joe is on his back in the middle of the ring.
Boy, it looks brilliant at this point that Angle has evened it up. Yes, scoreboard 1-1 as we approach 12 minutes of the Iron Man match. And again, Samoa Joe on his back. Again, Kurt Angle in control. Referee Earl Hebner right on the spot. We're under 12 minutes now, making sure that that is not a chokehold. Again, Joe's got to get back up.
You can see Joe talking to himself or screaming at Kurt. I couldn't read his lips, but he's got fight. There's no doubt about it. As he rolls over it, one thing he does have is a slight weight advantage on Kurt Angle, and he's using it every chance he can. I mean, think about it. With Kurt Angle wrestles in the Olympics, there's a weight classes for a reason, and Joe knows that. He uses that weight. Oh, man. Tried to catch him, and now look at this.
Angle pin. No, 2 count before Joe powers out. It was another attempt at the Olympic slam. And it was Samoa Joe taking Kurt Angle over, not going for the Olympic slam. Look out, ankle lock again here.
Oh, man, right now Kurt Angle's doing everything that he wants to do, and Samoa Joe knows it. He's got to look at him screaming in pain. He's on the same leg, and he can just feel, oh, he's twisting it. Oh, he's going to have to tap out again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kurt Angle wins the fall. Kurt Angle leading 2 falls to 1.
Wow, Kurt Angle turned this thing around. He was down, but now the strategy is brilliant, and now you can almost start to go a little defensive. There's
really?
There's a lot of time left. You're right.
You're talking about Samoa Joe.
I know
You're talking about a man who had a 1.5-year winning streak. You're talking about an individual who went up 1-0 in this match with the rear naked choke.
And one mistake can be costly, too. You're right.
Behind 2-1 after a pair of ankle lock submissions.
But if he could get another pinfall or submission in there, it would be time to play a little defensive. He could get a lead of 2.
Let's watch and see how it plays out, because you know Samoa Joe has got to turn it up. He's got to take it to another level at this point. He's got to look at him come try and fight out of the corner before Angle stops him right in his tracks again.
And he's still limping on that ankle. I mean, he just absolutely ripped that ankle twice, and you can see Samoa Joe having a hard time getting his balance and his footing.
Under 10 minutes, nut cutting time here for Samoa Joe. Down 2-1. Iron Man rules, NWA World Heavyweight title on the line, as well as the pride and honor of saying that I won this best-of-3 series. And look at Angle is just relentless working on the injured leg of Samoa Joe.
So much about being defensive. He's just being aggressive. And that's got to mentally right now be wearing on Samoa Joe. Knowing you're behind and knowing that this guy is trying to really put you away. And look at these uppercut shots. Kurt Angle throws him in against it. Wow! Joe just everything he had right there, Mike. He came off those ropes, and it was like a desperation clothesline.
Had to dig down deep. It's exactly what he did, and you called it. Clothesline coming out of the corner. And here goes Joe. Oh, he's so dangerous here. Punches, open hand palm thrust, a little bit of everything, rights and lefts, and Angle shot off into the corner. Here comes the freight train.
Oh, wow, that knee just climbed the ladder and nailed him.
You see where that knee connected? Put him right underneath the jaw.
Oh, no, he's got the muscle buster. Can he get it? He didn't get it last time. He couldn't get it in. Is he going to get a hold of it here? He's got it. Again. Kurt Angle fights out. 1, 2.
Oh, wow. How about the way Angle was holding on to that top rope in the corner on the muscle buster. Yes!
Unbelievable as Kurt Angle turns it right around.
Olympic slam pin.
1, 2, what? Oh, I thought he was going up 3-1, but Joe able to get his shoulder up, and Angle can't believe it.
3-1 at this point. I mean, it would almost have to be insurmountable, wouldn't it? I mean, you hate to say that against Samoa Joe, but that could have been the one right there. Instead, 2-1, Kurt Angle, pair of ankle locks, straps down. I didn't know if he could turn it and take it to another level, but there it is again.
This is it. This. He's already wore this thing out. Whoa! Nice move right there by Joe as he was able to get the leverage, and he countered it. Now he's got to take advantage of it.
Under 8 minutes, Joe able to roll through. Stop the Angle ankle lock. Imperative for Samoa Joe to get back on track. Muscle buster out of the corner.
Can he get out of it again? Not this time! Not this time!
Pin this time.
1, 2, got him! It's tied up!
Ladies and gentlemen, Samoa Joe wins the fall. They are tied at 2 falls apiece.
Wow! Twice he was able to get out of that muscle buster. I'm surprised he went for it again, because it seemed like Angle had the answer for it every time, Mike. But he just figured one of these times he was going to hit it.
We talked about the high stakes, high pressure matchup here. And how impressed are you with Samoa Joe to be able to dig down deep and even this baby up at 2-2?
Look at both these guys right now. They're both taking advantage of this. They've been going for 23 minutes. They're both getting a breather. They know that. It's tied up. You're on even playing field. Whoever's got the most in these next 7 minutes wins this matchup, and Joe gets to his feet first.
You're right. The Samoan submission machine still favoring the injured leg. But he moves in on Angle. First it's the right, another right, that one into the chest. Left hand now. Just series of shots in the corner by Samoa Joe as he continues to weaken Angle. That time an uppercut from Joe.
Crowd feeling the momentum switch here. As you can hear them, that, of course, the crowd has been so divided between these two. And what
man.
a move as he goes low.
Did you see that?
Took the knee right out.
He put all of his body weight behind that shoulder block that was directly sanding to the knee. I don't think we have to tell you how important the next pin or submission is in this matchup that's tied 2-2.
Oh, and again, he's got it applied. And wow, look at that right there. As you can see, Kurt Angle just trying a different variation, and he rolls it right into where he wants.
And again.
Oh, no.
Dead center, middle of the ring, ankle lock applied.
What do you do here? He's in the middle of the ring. Do you tap out early?
Under 6 minutes.
You got to try to hold on, don't you?
I don't know if that strategy works here, but at the same time, Don, if you don't tap out, you could end up with a broken ankle.
You're right. And because let me tell you something, he's not letting up. He's pulling because he's going for the tap. Now he gets to his feet. He's getting the leverage, and again.
That's the move.
That's the second time Joe able to do it.
Use your free leg, use your good leg to kick off. It worked that time. It's still a wobbly and a hobbling Samoa Joe who catches Angle and turns him around.
Oh, look. Oh, wait a minute. He rolls him up. 1, 2. Oh, my God. He's taking the lead.
Kurt Angle wins the fall. Kurt Angle ahead 3-2.
What a move by Angle. Just when we've seen the submission moves on display, he used technique and he used his body weight. He got in a perfect position, all of his weight down across Samoa Joe. There was no way that Joe was going to kick out. It's 3-2 Angle, and we're under 5 minutes.
I was watching Joe's body language. He looked up at referee Earl Hebner and he yelled time to find out how much time he had left. And he has 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, and he knows now he has got to absolutely go on a tear. He can't hold back for a second, because to win, he's got to tie this up first.
You're right, all the pressure's on Samoa Joe, and he really at this point needs to put on that full court press. That's what we're seeing.
Oh, you're going to see now maybe some stall tactics by Kurt Angle, and Joe realizes it, and he goes right out after him. He can't afford it.
You know, I'm not sure whether the blow sent Angle out to the floor or what you're saying, that Angle dropped down to avoid Joe. Joe follows up the advantage that he has, but Angle stops him outside. Look at Angle fight back.
Well, he knows if he can keep the fight out here, all that's going to do is let the clock tick.
True, and that clock ticks down as, ladies and gentlemen, we go under 4 minutes in the Iron Man matchup. 3-2 Kurt Angle.
That was everything we Oh, man, now Kurt Angle back in the ring. Samoa Joe, time is against him. Oh, and Kurt Angle knows it and goes right after him.
And Joe still favoring the knee as well. That's something that you have to keep in the back of your mind as we see Angle in the lead and in control. Shots to the head of Samoa Joe. Just keeping him down and keeping him in the corner. Look at Angle. He's relentless. We're under 3.5.
I'm going to tell you, if he can get another ankle lock in, he's going to do everything he can, I think, to hold on to it for the duration. Oh, look at the power! Holy cow! Kurt Angle went a little too strong, and Joe was waiting for it and used that strength and slammed him back down, but he's got to get a pin or a submission, or it's going to be futile.
Simply what it was. Pure, raw strength enables Joe to drive Angle down to the canvas. Joe momentarily now in charge, but the clock ticks under 3 minutes.
I know there's a title shot waiting for the winner, but right now I don't even think that's on their minds. I think it was motivation to get into this match, but right now it's just about winning. They know that whoever wins this has the bragging rights. Oh, he takes the ankle right into the ring post.
He just wrapped it right around the steel, and he does it a second time.
And all the time is doing is just ticking out for Samoa Joe. Kurt Angle with an incredible advantage.
It's time that Samoa Joe has to dig down deep and mount some kind of a comeback, or Kurt Angle, the control that he has and the lead that he has at 3-2 is going to gain him a victory here, but Joe's got to do it. Joe's got to pull out all the stops.
He's got to throw him in and get in there quickly. Don't give Kurt Angle a chance to set himself up. Because if he can, Kurt Angle will try to ride this thing out.
The clock becomes the whole story at this point as we go under 2 minutes with Kurt Angle up 3-2. You can see still favoring the knee, but still able to get enough power behind, and then the open hand slap to the chest. Oh, man.
Nice
Slap by Angle,
kick!
answered by the Joe kick. Here it comes.
He's got another muscle buster in. And look at this, he hits it.
Is he going to even it up here?
Tie it up
Here
right
comes. Here's
1, 2, we're tied. Wait, he got his foot on the rope. You've got to be kidding. Holy cow, I thought it was tied up.
We're under a minute and a half. Kurt Angle able to get his foot on the rope, but that, you know what? Joe can't get him down at this point.
Well,
you've got to mentally be tough to the point that you fight through that. Yes, you hit your patented move. Yes, you hit the muscle buster. And look at Angle get defensive right now as Joe went for the rear naked choke, and Angle goes right back to the basics and now goes right to the ankle lock, but Joe kicks out.
Couldn't get a grip on it.
Look at the clock.
He's got to go for it.
Rear naked choke, but Angle in total defensive mode here, not allowing Samoa Joe to get that rear naked choke cinched in.
He's trying to do everything he can to tie this up, and look at Angle fighting it off, rolls him off.
Anything.
And Joe goes right back at him. He can't let up. We're at 40 seconds. Look at him playing the elbows, just anything he can to break a grip.
And at the same time, to try and stop Angle from being so defensive. Joe now going to work, and Joe's got the ankle lock applied, and we're under 30 seconds.
Oh, he's going to try to beat Angle in his own game to tie this up. Holding on to that ankle. Can Kurt hold on for 20 more seconds? And he's applied it even harder.
Right applies all the pressure.
This is incredible. Kurt Angle trying to get to the ropes.
Here we go.
To tap
Is he going to tap?
Is he going to tap? No way. Can he hold on?
He's trying to get the rope break.
No
5
way.
seconds.
5 seconds.
2, 1.
He's done it.
He tapped after the clock expired.
He was able to hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Iron Man match, Kurt Angle!
Look at Joe. He can't believe he did. He heard him tap, but the clock get ticked off.
Oh, he tapped all right. He tapped at 30 minutes and 1 second.
Wow. Kurt Angle has won. Kurt Angle gets the title shot.
Well, there's no question about that. Kurt Angle, yes, definitely the #1 contender for the world title. Next month, you know what? He's going to face the winner of our three-way that is yet to come tonight at Final Resolution. The question I have, what about Samoa Joe?
Just the body language of Kurt Angle tells the story. But let's go to JB.
Yeah, to the ring and JB for the official introductions for our main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall and is the all or nothing World Heavyweight title match featuring the X Division title on the line, the World Tag Team Championship on the line, and the TNA World Heavyweight Championship on the line. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, it's time for your main event. Introducing, first of all, standing in the corner to my left, he weighed in this morning at 280 pounds. He hails from the Isle of Samoa and is the sole holder of the TNA X Division and World Tag Team Championships. He is the Samoan Submission Machine. This is Samoa Joe. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing, standing in the corner to my right. He weighed in this morning at 235 pounds from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He is professional wrestling's only Olympic gold medalist and the holder of the IWGP and the TNA Heavyweight Championship of the World. This is Kurt Angle.
Not a very confident figure, to say the least, when you take that close-up look at the Olympic gold medalist, the IWGP from Japan, and the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Kurt Angle. And you talk about the opposite spectrum, confidence just oozing from Samoa Joe.
Mike, it's like Kurt Angle's on the verge of a mental breakdown at any moment. I mean, he just, it's drained out of his body. This should be the most important matchup in his history here at TNA, as we see the empty chair still reserved for Karen Angle and Guest, and we know her Guest is the new man in her life that she was enjoying time with, and it's just something that you wonder if Kurt Angle, well, there you see a little bit of the life left in him, if he can use that to motivate himself in this ring, Mike, use that to drive him forward. If not, Samoa Joe is going to steamroll right over it.
Kurt Angle is a natural as a wrestler, Don. I think even these distractions that he's had, these mind games from Samoa Joe, not going to take away the ability of Kurt Angle, but how about that move? Shoulder block by Samoa Joe, exploiting that sizable weight advantage that you saw during the tail of the tape when we broke it down for you.
You know, you're thinking that once the action starts, once the contact starts, that Kurt Angle's going to wake up and realize what's at stake, and he can't think about what's happened in the last few weeks. He's got to think about everything that's on the line. But again, you see Joe pushes him out of the ring, and you see Angle just mentally doesn't seem like he's ready to just square it off in the six-sided ring.
Check this out. Look at here.
Oh, here they come, and you can see Kurt Angle now looking over as the champagne from Karen and her new friend.
This is not going to be good, you know that, for Kurt Angle. Yes, the new man in her life joins the former Mrs. Kurt Angle at ringside.
Oh, Kurt Angle, that's just, and you know Joe's loving this because it's going to take him over the edge. You got to hope, though, if you're Joe, that it doesn't make him snap to where he just goes absolutely crazy.
Boy, the reaction, at least at this point, by Kurt Angle, and the smile on the face of Samoa Joe, or maybe that grin that we see. Yeah, they're enjoying the champagne, that's for sure. Leads me to believe, like these mind games playing right into the situation that Samoa Joe has been really looking for the past several weeks, getting in the head of the Olympic gold medalist.
And, you know, in the last few weeks building up to this match, when he was more lucid, I had a chance to talk with Kurt and his game plan, and he said he's going to try to wear Joe down. He's going to try to use his speed, maybe a little bit more agile, and Joe, on the other hand, is going to lean on him.
Almost as if Angle is torn here. He realizes he's got the match in the six-sided ring, but at the same time, you know when he drops down to the floor that he's making eye contact and looking at his former wife
and there he is,
the new man in her life, and you can see that that's a major distraction in this match for Kurt Angle.
Oh, and she's just loving, and I think this is the first time that she's been able to torture Kurt like he's tortured her so much, just able to just make him feel about 3 inches tall, because that's what Kurt Angle's done to her for the last 12 years.
Yeah, just rubbing Angle's nose in and just reveling in that fact at ringside, sipping the champagne. As we see Joe make his move toward Angle, who quickly gets out of dodge and gets out of the ring, and there you see them looking on. The new man in her life.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
Tell you what, she's not holding back. She's reveling in this moment right here, knowing what it's doing. Now Samoa Joe got to concentrate, because you are seeing glimpses of Kurt Angle in that ring of old. And Joe's got to concentrate on what's at stake for him, and that's every single belt in this company and more.
Angle with the top wrist lock, but at the same time, you notice that he looks over at his former wife. Joe that time told the referee to check for the pulling of hair. Amazingly, Angle was not pulling his hair, but that allowed Joe to take the advantage and, momentarily, illegally take him back down.
Well, he did. He just slammed Kurt Angle down to the mat. And Samoa Joe just sizing it up, waiting for the opportunity. Kurt Angle just has so much conflict going on in his mind in that ring right now.
Side headlock by Samoa Joe. Attempt at a shot off into the ropes, but Joe able to block that, maintain his grip, and retake the side headlock. One thing we know, next month at No Surrender, the winner of this match must defend the World's Heavyweight title belt against the man who won the Doomsday match in the 6 Sides of Steel just minutes ago. The winner of this match to face the Monster Abyss next month at No Surrender.
Well, they can't be thinking about that, because that will be a distraction, realizing what getting the Monster Abyss one-on-one. But now you can see Kurt Angle, as Joe kept using his outfit, kept holding on to the straps. So you see Kurt Angle now taking the straps off to Joe. Can't keep holding on to him, pulling him back into the headlock.
Good call. You're right. I think Angle realized it as well and saw that those straps were really a liability to him. Sunset flip, and Joe tried, just pulling down the entire outfit there of Kurt Angle. That's quite a sight.
Well, I'll tell you exactly as you see Kurt Angle.
Oh, they're loving it, aren't they?
Our date looking on. Samoa Joe just doing everything he can to break Kurt Angle down to the lowest common denominator.
After everything else, just add that for a little embarrassment. And yes, the former Mrs. Kurt Angle, Karen, is loving life right now. And here it is. This is the distraction.
Oh, who's your boyfriend?
Oh, look at this. He's just getting in their face.
Oh!
She just poured the champagne, just flung it in his face. And that gives Joe a chance to come over there, and he just smacks him.
Do you hear Angle? Confronted him. Who's your boyfriend? And at that point, you're right. Toss that glass of champagne right in the eyes of Angle. And that enables Samoa Joe to take over, and now rolling Angle back into the ring.
Samoa Joe is just going to revel in this. Every chance he gets, every top opportunity he gets. And now look at him. Oh, what a shot to the back, and then the kick to the front. There's the knee. Man, he nails it heavy.
Follow cover leads to, just a 2 count. If you had an opportunity to watch the Road to Hard Justice show, Don, on Spike TV last night, we broke this down for you. And it's pretty much going the way that we expected in terms of what Samoa Joe was going to bring to the ring. We knew he would use those lethal stiff kicks. That time he sidesteps Angle, moves out of the way, and then sends Kurt directly into the corner.
Oh, just the power that he forced him into the steel ring post. I mean, Kurt looks like he caught his shoulder, that left shoulder, into the steel ring post. And, I mean, the force that Samoa Joe used. He just has that weight advantage, and he'll use it. He's going to make Kurt Angle lean on him. He's going to make him carry his weight every chance that he can to wear Kurt Angle down.
Right hands by Samoa Joe. Takes Angle down, and now using that weight advantage, 280-plus pounds behind that, and then the face wash repeatedly with the bottom of the boot, scraping right across the eyes and face, and then charges right at him.
What force. I mean, he takes himself off the ropes and then just face washed him with that boot at full speed.
Pin, drop down. Far leg hook, barely a 1 count before Angle is able to roll the shoulders. In that Road to Hard Justice, we talked about what they have in common. Both men want to win by submission, without question. Joe has the Coquina clutch, the rear naked choke. At the same time, you know what Kurt Angle brings, that patented ankle lock. They want to see their opponent tap out tonight at Hard Justice.
I mean, oh, look at there's the German suplexes. He just nails him right on the back of his neck, and you can see Samoa Joe just grab it by the head, Mike, as it just caught him hard.
Both men down Referee Rudy Charles puts in the count. Angle first to get back up to his feet. But you notice the distraction again. Looking out of the corner of his eye down at his former wife, and then the European uppercut rocks Joe against the ropes.
I still get that feeling with Kurt Angle that the anger's going to start welling up, and you're almost seeing it now. And he's going to maybe use that to his advantage. Samoa Joe's got to be very careful, because look at this. Kurt Angle looks like Kurt Angle of old.
Yeah, playing out just like you mentioned. I think using that anger as a motivation. The repeated kicks in the corner by Angle. Now, going to follow up his advantage here. Picks up Joe, master of the suplex. That's 280 plus that he just took over with ease. Right on him with the pin. The lateral cover. Right back to it again. Joe not enabling him to get the 3 count, making sure that he gets his shoulders rolled at 2.
Kurt Angle now using these things, and look at the look on Joe's face. It's not a look that he's had for the last 24 hours. I mean, he just had so much confidence, and he's just pulling back on the head. It's Kurt Angle, I think, just fueling now. Every time he looks over at Karen, it just fuels his anger. And Samoa Joe tries to get to his feet and use those elbows to get out.
That's one way to break that variation of the chin lock. But then Angle caught him behind with the clubbing blows. Connects first. One German up. Going to go for a series of them here, I'm sure. There's a second one. Again, keep in mind, this is a near 300-pound man that he continues to take overhead, and he was blocked after the second one. Wow! Look at that suplex by Joe.
Just brute strength, brute force, able to stop, and he knows what it's like if you get hit with 4, 5, and 6 German suplexes, and we've seen Kurt Angle do that. Joe had to stop it, he had to break it, and just desperation heave. And just sent Kurt Angle end over end.
It's exactly what he did. Tossed him overhead, released suplex. But you can see that both individuals are really digging down deep here. Both men up at the same time. Angle unleashes a right. It's answered by Joe. Both men punch for punch, but now all of a sudden the series of moves and the discus shot by Joe didn't connect, but he did catch him with the back elbow. Off the ropes. Here comes that freight train. Big clothesline shot. Again, Joe off the ropes. The second clothesline, decks Angle.
And he knows how sensitive that neck is. Oh, what an uppercut right there by Kurt Angle that gives him the advantage. Joe sends him up. Wow! Power slams him down.
Great snap slam. Pin, 2 count. Angle rolls the shoulder.
Man alive, it's such force that he hits that when he catches you off the ropes like that. Kurt Angle, I think both of them now realizing what's at stake here, and as the battle ensues, they just get more and more. What a kick! I don't know how he gets up that high. It's amazing what Samoa Joe can do.
Incredible agility. That could be the knockout kick.
It's
These
it.
two.
No! Whoa, that was at the last second.
The glazed over look of Kurt Angle after that incredibly powerful kick in the corner by Samoa Joe. And I thought that we were going to have a winner right there. I thought Samoa Joe was going to add the IWGP and the TNA World Heavyweight Championship belts to the other belts that he has, the X Division and the tag team titles. Rake of the eyes here by Angle enables him to turn it around, and there's the release German.
He's just able to just grab that at will sometimes when he gets to turn around and snap it back, but he's not able to get him up, pick him up, and do another one. Now look at this. Just insult to injury. Every chance they get, anytime the camera's on them, they know how to mope it up in front of it, that's for sure.
As Joe gets to his feet, Angle's ready for him. Gonna try for the slam. Olympic slam is blocked. And then those open hand slaps. Quick reversal. Shot off into the corner. Angle comes in. But he's met by Joe, who powers him down.
Here it
Here's
is.
the pin.
1, 2. Oh, man. I mean, you talk about last second again. That was a split second. But the strength of Joe, I mean, just how he can get you in that corner and use that body. He's just a force.
Series of near falls in this match. I'd have to give the advantage in terms of numbers to Samoa Joe. I think he's had more of those 2 counts and more of them that were just right at the point of being 3. But still, neither man able to get the pin or the submission. Was that going to be the muscle buster on the
tried.
corner? Possible. Roll through, ankle lock applied.
He's got him in the ankle lock, and look at him getting to his feet, and he's applying the pressure. He's going for it right here, and you can see Samoa Joe knows he has to do it quick, and he's able to counter it.
There it is. Rear naked choke. Kakita clutch applied, but the quick drop down by Angle, and he immediately goes to the ankle lock.
He's got it cinched in again, and look at Joe again. He rolls over, and again he's able to use that foot, and now he's got him. He's got him. Oh man, time.
Quick exchange, ends with the boot to the midsection, and there's the Olympic slam by Angle.
This is it.
Cover, leg hook, 2.
No! Joe and the crowd goes crazy. Joe able to get that shoulder up, but I mean the way that Joe hit, I thought that might have ended it. It was a sickening thud, and look at Joe holding the back of his head.
What's going to be more important here? The offensive moves in terms of the submission holds, or the fact that you're going to be able to defense them properly? What will be more important? We'll find out how that plays out in the continuation of this all-or-nothing match with 5 championship belts at stake.
Every time each guy tries to get their patented submission hold in play, though, the other person ready for it, able to counter. As you can see, Angle now getting Joe, who's groggy. Joe up to the top of the rope in no man's land, got his legs hooked in. Oh, Kurt Angle, oh no. He's got him trying to belly to belly him back over, but look at the headbutts. One right after another by Joe.
After the headbutts, Joe gonna go up to the top floor here from the top rope, and Angle quickly goes up and just tosses him back down.
Oh man, he saw that Joe was taking a little too long, and Kurt Angle just, here it is, 2. Oh man, just in time.
Frustration evident there as we see Angle holding his head. He thought that that move was going to be the one to get the 3 count.
Kurt Angle, though, somehow, and look at him screaming something at his former wife, but he's using it, he's fueling it, it's fueling the fire. And Kurt Angle right now, just loving this.
Angle from the top, moonsault, no! Nobody home!
Took too long getting up there, and Joe, I think, waited to the last second to get away, knowing that there'd be no turning back for Kurt Angle.
Now, Samoa Joe gonna take Angle, position him in the corner, gonna set him up on top, could be muscle buster time once again. There's the knife edge chop, he's gonna try and weaken him first, and now, here comes the muscle buster!
He's got it set in! Here he goes, he hits it! Oh, and he just flops him down!
Pin!
1, 2! Wow! You got to be kidding me! How close do you get?
Not much closer than that. On the verge of victory, Samoa Joe, muscle buster out of the corner, immediately goes for the pin, but amazingly, Angle will not allow the referee's hand to drop for a 3rd time.
He has done this on pure adrenaline, because every time it is, oh
there it
no,
is!
he's got it now.
Rear naked choke, Kakita clutch applied. Perfect positioning, dead center, middle of the ring.
He's got the legs draped over too, so that there's nowhere that Kurt Angle could go.
Angle's fighting him. He tossed the mouthpiece out. He's going to do anything. You're right. He's biting the hand of Samoa Joe.
He had to in that point, and now he's got the ankle lock, and he's got him in the middle of the ring. Look at this.
Joe going to try and fight through this pain. In the past, on a previous ankle lock attempts, Joe's had the perfect counter, but now he's been worn down. Able to roll through.
Oh, he does it out.
There it is, right into the choke.
He's got it in. He's able to counter it back to him.
You'll notice Angle's keeping his chin down at this point. He's trying to allow the jaw to take the pressure and not the carotid artery.
Oh, look at this. Kurt Angle, look at his arms. They're getting limper and limper. It looks like he's losing strength, and now he's trying to fight himself back. But look at this, Joe not letting up. Joe's got him in the middle. Joe putting it on.
You're right. Joe cinched that hand down. He's got it below the chin. Accounting now, I see what it was. I didn't see that Angle had extended his leg across and made contact with the ropes.
Joe was blocking our view.
Sure.
But he did get his foot on the ropes. Good call, Mike. I was thinking, what on earth's going on? But that's exactly what it was. But of course, the size of Joe blocked the view. But now look at Joe.
Rights and lefts, just one shot after the other. Here goes Angle for the ride. Puts on the brakes. Oh, no! Referee down. Referee knocked out, and there's a rear naked choke.
He's got him again, but the referee's not going to be able to do it. And you can see Kurt tapping out.
He is.
Kurt's tapped out, but the referee's down. He doesn't realize it, and Joe does. He's got to get the referee up. Oh, he's mad, and he's like a rag doll. He's knocked out cold.
Trying to revive. Referee who is down. He had the win. He had Angle tapping out.
Oh, he finally was able to get him to tap for the first time. Oh, low blow. Low blow by Kurt Angle.
Cheap shot. Cheap shot by Angle. And you can see that Joe's in pain while Angle tries to regroup. What's this?
Oh, no. It looked like...
She's picking up a chair.
She's got a chair in her hand. She's talking to Joe.
She's waving him over. She's telling Joe
take the steel chair and use it on my ex-husband. And why not? The referee's out. She wants him to inflict. She wants to make sure that Kurt Angle does not win this match, and Joe's leading for it. And look at this. She pulled it away from him. What the hell just happened here? Look at him, and now Joe gets taken down again by Kurt, and now he's got the chair. Oh my God, she was working in sync with Kurt Angle. The knockout shot with the chair. Referee revived. 2. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the man who now holds all the championships in TNA, Kurt Angle!
We all fell for the trap. We all bought in hook, line, and sinker. We all bought in to Karen and Kurt Angle's crap.
Here comes the challenger. Samoa Joe, you can see walking from the backstage area towards the ring. Frank Trigg, you've already gone on record as saying that he's locked himself down.
A little nervous, looks like. Obviously walking in, I'd be nervous too, thinking getting ready for my career to be on the end of it. Hopefully the champagne bottles are in the background, ready for him to celebrate his long career, but I really don't see him being well.
Boy, you call it nervousness? I think he's just totally focused on the task at hand.
He stands 6'2" and weighs in at 280 pounds. The Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe, started his path of destruction in TNA in 2005. He is a ground and pound specialist that has a mixed martial arts background with extensive training in Japan. Samoa Joe continues his quest for his first TNA World Championship as he meets his nemesis Kurt Angle tonight. If he wins, Joe will have his name etched in TNA history forever as one of the elite. If he loses, Joe will sacrifice everything, including his wrestling career.
What an amazing spectacle it is. The family of the challenger, the family of Samoa Joe, here to show his support. The tradition of the Samoan fire dance is going to bring the challenger and #1 contender into the arena.
What a feeling it is right here in this building, and I think it's not just the anticipation of these two great warriors. It's a deep down feeling. Could this be the last time that we see the Samoan submission machine in a wrestling ring?
That's a lot of added pressure on a man to sit there and go, hey, I'm gonna lock myself down. If I lose, I'm going home. And I'm never gonna be seeing this arena ever again. That put a lot of pressure on Samoa Joe. Marcus Davis told me he did train hard for the 5 weeks ahead together. He really tried to put it together. Hopefully it's enough against a great guy like Kurt Angle.
The roar absolutely deafening as he comes out. You see the embrace with the man who's trained him, the man from Ireland wearing the kilt, talking about Marcus Davis. It's time to introduce the TNA champ. And here he comes. Frank Trigg, you've gone on record. You made the prediction. You said Kurt Angle will not only retain that title, but he will take Samoa Joe's career and extinguish it tonight.
And I feel kind of bad for Kurt because Kurt really doesn't want to have to end a guy's career like that, but Joe's the one that said, he said, if I lose, I'm going home and I'm going to stay home. Kurt's just doing his job. He wants to keep that belt. This is something he's always strived after, making sure he keeps his belts and keeps his medals. It's another piece he's not going to let go.
I think that Kurt Angle would look at it as a major notch in his belt if he's able to end the career of Samoa Joe.
He stands 6'1" and weighs in at 235 pounds. Perhaps the greatest wrestler in the world today, Kurt Angle has taken TNA by storm since arriving in 2006. Kurt Angle became the first ever TNA World Heavyweight Champion at TNA Slammiversary in 2007. the only gold medalist in professional wrestling history. Angle is also a 12-time world champion and 3-time NCAA All-American. Kurt Angle has held the TNA World Heavyweight Championship for nearly a year, and this is his 5th meeting against Samoa Joe.
How big of a mental edge is it when you've had 4 head-to-head meetings and you've been victorious in 3 out of the 4?
It's always more difficult every time you face a guy. It's even harder when you face a guy twice and lost to him twice. Imagine having that advantage. You face a guy 4 times, beat him 3 out of the 4. That puts a huge mental edge on the side of Kurt Angle and makes Samoa Joe a little bit more nervous as Kurt steps into the ring right now.
Does it make him more nervous, or does it light the fire under Samoa Joe even more?
Well, like his brothers were doing the fire dance earlier tonight, hopefully it is true. It does light him up a little bit more.
To me, I think the important part is going to be the beginning of this match. Not letting emotions take over and take out your energy. You've got to realize you've got to pace yourself and wait for that opportunity.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we have been waiting for. The second half of our lockdown double main event. Challenger and champion inside the 6 sides of steel. At this time, we send it inside the cage and Jeremy Borash for the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for 1 fall and is for the TNA Heavyweight Championship of the World. When the bell rings, the man in charge, TNA Senior Official Mr. Rudy Charles, and here tonight to present the TNA Heavyweight Championship title belt to the winner, UFC fighter, the Irish hand grenade, Marcus Davis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Songus Arena in Lowell, Massachusetts, it's time for your TNA Lockdown main event of the evening. Introducing, first of all, standing in the corner to my right. He weighed in this morning at 280 pounds and comes to us from the Isle of Samoa. He is the #1 contender for the TNA Heavyweight Championship of the World, the Samoan Submission Machine, Samoa Joe. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing, standing in the corner to my left, he weighed in this morning at 235 pounds and comes to us from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He is professional wrestling's only Olympic gold medalist and the current reigning and defending TNA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Kurt Angle.
There you see the prize being held high up above the head of referee Rudy Charles, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship belt. But equally, if not more important, the fact that Samoa Joe is putting his career at stake in this match. If he doesn't defeat Angle, if he doesn't win the gold, as we see wife Karen looking on from ringside, then Samoa Joe promises that he will walk away from professional wrestling forever. Frank Trigg, the look on the face of Kurt Angle as he was preparing for this match.
Guys,
What's he doing here?
Kurt Angle, I'm trying to listen to this. He is pointing at his wife.
Get her out of here. Get her out of here.
Get her out of here.
He's saying, get her out of here.
Get her out of here. I want
And you can see that we have security coming over to the guardrail.
Wow.
And he's asking his wife here in Angle to leave the ringside area. Frank, is this a case where Kurt is so focused on Samoa Joe that he wants zero distractions?
Now you have to understand. Most people say this is mean because parents are going to support him, sit in the corner. But I have a deal with my wife, Nikki, that she's not allowed to see me from the moment we show up in the arena until the fight is over. With her being in the corner right there by Kurt on his side of the cage, it is a distraction for him. If he wants to leave, she needs to get up and get out. She has to get up and leave.
And you can see that she's not happy here, that security, they asked her to leave nicely. It's almost as if now they're trying to remove her from the ringside area, and they do. And you hear the opening bell, and here we go. It's finally here. It's Kurt Angle and it's Samoa Joe in our lockdown main event.
You know what, though? I think that's good for both sides. Obviously, Kurt Angle doesn't want the distraction. He doesn't want to look at her and see anything and have anything in his mind. And after what Joe's gone through in the past with Kurt Angle, I think it's good for him too, Mike. The two of them just be warriors and go at it, and it's on.
Angle charges in at Samoa Joe, who uses his weight to turn Angle around and gain the advantage. Referee Rudy Charles with the count, going to try and separate the two. Well, you can just sense that both men are tentative here in the opening minute.
Kurt's using a lot of hand speed. He's using a lot of energy with his hand speed because he's trying to get inside of Samoa Joe's kicks. Oh, great kick. He's trying to get inside, though, of Samoa Joe's big right leg kick was coming towards his head. And to do that, he had to use a lot of hands early. I don't know if Kurt can keep up that kind of pace. He's not used to using his hands to box like that.
We saw the first strike from Kurt Angle, the kick to the leg of Samoa Joe, and there it is again. In the back of my mind, I've got to be thinking that Kurt Angle, with those leg kicks, he's trying to think down the line, down the road in this match, in anticipation of using the ankle lock submission.
Frank, I got to ask you, too, what kind of an advantage did you see Joe going for the kicks? And you can see Angle trying to lock it out, and then Joe, look at this.
Oh, wow.
Joe, get the ankle lock here, and no, Kurt got the rope.
He's made a nice knee bar. He's in a good position. It's too bad the ropes came in the way, though.
I'm going to ask you, what kind of an advantage, if any, does it give Kurt not to have the shoes on right now, to have the ankles taped out there in the ring?
Well, because of the leg locks and knee bars and heel hooks that Samoa Joe likes to go after, it's going to be easy for Kurt to get out. It's a better defensive tactic to have the shoes on.
Angle, great move in. Started with the single leg, then took Joe down with both legs, and Angle right on top of him, getting in a couple of blows. But I think because he's so close to Samoa Joe at this point, he doesn't have that distance, he doesn't have the power behind the shots.
It's called stuffing your punches. Kurt was actually stuffing his own punches by being that close. He has to work on his ground and pound game a little bit by sitting up taller. When you have your head on his chest, you're going to stuff your punches, you're not going to get a good blowout.
One thing I'm impressed with is the training that Joe's gone through.
Whoa.
The training with Marcus Davis. I mean, think about the history of Marcus Davis, the things that he's done, the different styles that he's seen. The guy was even a sparring partner for Mickey Ward. He's seen all different styles. That's got to help Joe as this match goes on.
We have a trainer like Marcus Davis. He gets the game. He understands the ups and downs. He's had his downs in his MMA career. He's been kicked out of the biggest organizations and brought back in again. It's been tough for him. So he can put that on Samoa Joe, saying, look, I've lost my fights. You've lost your fights. It's a big fight for you. You put a lot of pressure on yourself. If anybody can help Samoa Joe get through it, it's Marcus Davis.
Angle has been so impressive with those two early takedowns in the match. And again, look how quickly, he shoots in, but he left himself wide open. Joe caught him with the kick.
Wow, nice kick, great punch.
He just scouted it, he waited for it, he saw the opportunity, and look at him. Joe just going now. Kurt getting the arms wrapped around the head.
Smart job holding him in. Talking about a big weight difference, a big size difference between these two competitors. Kurt's doing a good job of maintaining, keeping him close. Like earlier when he was stuffing his own punches, now he's got a shot at keeping him on top of him and not getting hit.
That really is the key at that point, closing the distance between the two competitors. As Frank explained, when you're so close to your opponent, you don't have the ability to wind up and use that extra power behind your strikes.
Now you notice the pace has slowed way down. We're starting to get into it a little bit. Now we're out of that feeling each other out there like you already see in boxing in the first round. Now they're actually really trying to work their technique and trying to find the opening.
Well, I'm impressed how neither one of them let themselves wear themselves out too early. Like you said, they felt each other out. Nobody made any stupid mistakes. Whoa! That's what a Joe! What a move as he flips him over.
Great hip toss. For as big as Samoa Joe is, you see him, he looks a little heavy, got a little fat going around his stomach. You wouldn't think he can move as quick as he can. Look at that hit moment with that throw. That was a huge shot for Samoa Joe to get quick and move like that.
It's that old story about don't judge that book by its cover. Don't do that when it comes to Samoa Joe. Frank, I'm not sure whether you noticed, but when Samoa Joe had, oh, look at Angle! What an explosive suplex!
Wow, great job by Kirk on his hips underneath. Good body lock, picked him up, and threw Samoa Joe right out his back.
Right on the back of his head, and I saw Joe grab the back of it, and the pain in his face, and you wonder something like that can, a nerve can, you know, look at Joe, look at the pain.
See how Kurt's arm is underneath Joe's chin. He's got a great choke on. If he can slide, if Kurt can slide this right side like he's doing now, he's able to finish this choke off and get a submission here.
Well, look at the face of Samoa Joe.
Oh, he got the boot on the ropes. Got the boot on the ropes. Good move, having good ring awareness.
Fortunate ring positioning for Samoa Joe at that point. If they're out in the middle of the six-sided ring, I'm not sure that Joe would be able to wear it off. And how about that strike? The knee right to the head on Samoa Joe, and then Angle's got him. Continuous shots in the corner.
This is the kind of pace we used to see Kurt Angle maintain. He can keep this kind of pace for 20, 30, 40 minutes if he has to. I don't know if Samoa Joe's in shape to be able to maintain it.
Frank Trigg, you've been training with both champion and challenger. You say when it comes to dedication, there's nobody like Kurt Angle.
No, you won't find anybody. He's the first one to show up for practice and the last one to leave. He's the guy that's always here early, even his pro wrestling career. He's here earlier than everybody else. He stays later than everybody else because of his dedication.
Joe's got to find a way to get the momentum headed his way.
Oh!
Belly release, unbelievable, right overhead.
That's near 300 pounds that he took over. I'm going to say with relative ease, then goes right for the cover. But again, fortunate ring positioning for Samoa Joe, where he's able to reach out and get the rope break.
Very smart. It's one of the tactics also used in pancrase over in Japan is that the ring, you have a way to get out if you're able to use it, if you can get the side of the ropes. That's what Samoa Joe's doing right now. It's saving him. Smart move.
Oh, man, what an uppercut that time. And you saw that Joe just went down like a big tree.
I'll tell you, Kurt Angle right now is absolutely controlling this match just the way that he wants. And look at that.
Trying to step into his armbar.
There it is. He's trying, and the perfect defense by Joe.
Great job getting his hands locked in. He's trying to stuff it in. He's got to slide his elbow out. See how his right arm is the arm is caught. He get his elbow slid out a little bit. He's out of the way.
But he gets to his feet. He gets to his feet. He almost got a pin. Almost stuck one in on Angle.
Joe seems to be using a lot better smart tactics. A lot better match tactics than Angle does. He's using the ring ropes to get out of the positions. When he's in caught in armbar, he's going right to a pinning position. Samoa Joe seems to be getting the advantage in the tactical space right now.
Might have something to do with the training of Marcus Davis.
You know, I was making fun of Marcus Davis earlier because he always walks around in a dress. But honestly,
wow.
I gotta give him his props. He walked around in a kilt. He's really shown Samoa Joe a lot of good position.
You see that move by Angle? He went for the knee of Samoa Joe and he dropped it. He took him down, again in my mind, in anticipation of working on that leg for possibly an ankle lock or a figure four leg lock like this. There's the figure four.
Wow.
He's got it locked in. And look at the positioning.
That's the key.
Joe's got to go somewhere. And he's barely got the shoulder on. Oh, man. He has got the wrong spot to get the ropes here, Mike. He is facing in the wrong direction.
Remember when Kurt Angle used the figure four leg lock against Yuji Nagata on Global Impact?
The only way for
Over in
Joe
Japan, and he's using it again.
The only way for Joe to get out of this, he has to actually roll to his back and puts him in a pinning position. The one way he has to go to get out, he has to put himself in more danger to go towards the ropes. He's actually increasing his pain.
He couldn't get over, though. He tried to roll over. And just as it looked like he was going to, Kurt Angle rolled him right back.
This is one of those times. This is one of those times you're glad that you're the bigger guy because that extra 50 pounds will be able to get you to move around. This is where Joe needs to use his weight.
And Joe trying to take advantage of the weight edge that he has, trying to rule this thing over and try and get the edge, but Kurt Angle just cranks right back on it.
Almost got pinned as his shoulder blades were to the mat. You can see referee Rudy Charles. He's counting. Joe is going to fight the pain. He's going to listen to the count. He's got so much put on his mind, and he's too far from the ropes. I don't know if he can hold on.
The wrench on his ankle, the wrench on his knee. I mean, this is amazing. And for him, the only way, like I said, for him to go is go towards the ropes. He's going to make this thing a little bit tighter. Also, though, if you can notice how Kurt's leg is caught inside, Joe can put a little pressure on Kurt's knee if he slides his butt a little bit closer to Kurt.
How is this going to change the complexion of the match going forward?
Once you get out of this position, your legs are shot. He's got no way to move. He's having a hard time being able to keep on his feet. It's going to slow Samoa Joe down. So if he gets out of this, he's going to have a lot less mobility.
Exactly. In other words, if he doesn't tap out, if he doesn't submit from this, you're still going to see that wear down factor come into play as Joe finally uses that weight to turn him over.
He's done it. He's turned him over, and he's using his weight, and Kurt Angle grabs the rope to break it up. Wow, Samoa Joe. What resilience, guys. What resilience.
Oh, and Joe gets to his feet, but you can see that he's noticeably not moving as well as he was before. And what does Angle do? Immediately, right back to the offensive. Oh, what a strike to the leg. Right on the knee.
Those legs are numb, aren't they, Frank? And look at him go for the knee. Oh, my God, Joe's in pain.
If they're not numb, I'm praying that they are at this point. There's so much pain going on. The wrenching on the knee that's happened. Oh, great job. The wrenching on the knee, the wrenching on the ankle. He's in so much pain right now. Anything that Kurt does to us can expound it.
Look how quickly, though, Angle was able to float right over on Joe. And now, after working on the lower half of his body, he's going to try and work on the upper half, working on the head of Joe.
Just like boxing, you attack the body to make the head a little bit weaker. Kurt Angle's doing the exact same thing right now.
Samoa Joe looking for any opening, looking for that window to open just a crack. But again, rings his bell, and what a
my God!
Wow!
Decapitation! Clothesline by Samoa Joe! It was a desperation move, but you got to admit it paid off, because look at Angle, and Joe still favoring the leg and knee.
He's trying to get some kind of feeling in there, trying to get some kind of a break, but this might be what he needs. He's got to get some air in his lungs, Frank.
He needs a little bit of a break to kind of get his legs back underneath him, let the pace aside a little bit, plus get some air back in his lungs. Like you said, he hit Kurt Angle so hard, he almost did a complete backflip. I don't know how much Chris is going to recover.
Follow strikes, series of forearm shots, and then another clothesline decks Angle. Here comes Joe charging into the corner. How about that knee?
He just amazes you how agile he is for a big man. As the knee hits it, but the elbow by Kurt Angle stops it. What a kick! What a kick by Joe!
Could it be the muscle buster out of the corner? He's got him up, but Angle into a roll up. And now Angle's got the leg of Joe.
You can see great ankle lock. He's got the ankle lock cinched in.
Wow. Just when it looked like Joe was going to take control, just when it looked like he's going to hit the muscle buster, you see that Kurt Angle's got the ankle of Samoa Joe.
Athletic ability of both of these guys amazing. Samoa Joe has kicked Kurt Angle about 8 feet in the air in the face. As soon as he rolled over, Kurt got out of the position, rolled on top, and immediately went to the ankle lock. These guys still have so much energy left in them, and we're already into this match so deep, and they've done so much already. Damage to each guy.
What a slam!
Cover.
1, 2, just in time! Unbelievable the strength there. Caught Kurt Angle in midair and just used that strength and just slammed him down.
Joe, I think that time on the receiving end of an eye rake from Angle, but Joe able to fight back first with the kick. Gonna take him out. Power bombs him. Pin.
1, 2, no!
Getting a little nervous here.
Look at this. Joe's got the legs hooked. Boston Crab. Now, look at him put the knee right in the lower part of his back. He's got the Boston Crab submission.
Can he get it? Look at this. He's gonna tap out. He's gotta tap out.
Look at Angle's hand.
No.
Look at Angle's hand. Is he gonna tap?
Pushing himself.
He's in so much pain in this position.
But that's the perfect counter if you think about it.
He pulls it
Oh
back.
my. And now look at this. He's got the cross face applied.
This is wrenching on the knee, wrenching on the hip. He pulls that head back a little bit. He's going to wrench on the back at the same time. It's a 3-spot. He's a trifecta submission. This is a great spot for Samoa Joe. He uses very limited energy as he can actually rest while Kurt is spending all the energy trying to maintain it.
Boy, that's a great point, Frank Trigg, as Samoa Joe continues to work on the head with the crossface. At the same time, he's got the leg grapevine, and Angle doing everything within his power to try and get to the ropes, and at the same time, Joe doing everything to try and prevent him to get that rope break. Oh, look how close Angle is, but look at the way Joe has his eyes covered.
Is he gonna tap? Is he gonna tap? Is he gonna tap? Oh man, look at that. Look, he's grabbing the ankle. He's grabbing the ankle of Joe. He's worked his way to it, and now Kurt Angle has the advantage.
What a reversal. Almost being submitted, almost tapping out, finding his way into another submission position for himself. Both guys back and forth. This is really getting close. I'm so much more impressed with Samoa Joe than before. I have to take back half the words I said. I think he came into this match underprepared. I lied to myself. He really is prepared. Marcus Davis got him ready for this.
He turns it around. He just countered it on Angle.
Joe with all the force and all the power that he can muster, working on the head of Kurt Angle, because you know that Samoa Joe in the back of his mind has to be thinking that his entire wrestling life, his livelihood, his career is at stake in this match.
Pulling back with everything that he's got. Kurt trying to slide out from under him, and look at him pull back on the head, pull back on the neck. Oh, the pain that Kurt Angle's got to be in.
At the same time, he's got Angle's, well, momentarily he had Angle's arm hook, but you saw that Kurt was able to use that mat skills, the grappling ability to try and snake his way out of there and get the break. Oh, he turns right at him, but Joe's got the arm hooked in again. I think he's got him. Is that another crossface? I can't see it from this shot.
It does. It looks like it is another crossface. He's got to pull back in again. This, you get in it, all of a sudden you get out of it, you think, hey, I'm safe, and you're back into it again. This is not good for Kurt's back and neck.
Oh, look at Kurt. He's got him off. Olympic slam. Oh,
Here he is. Pin.
1, 2. Yeah, he pulled out of it. Oh, unbelievable.
How are they having this match sense? How are they keeping this together? Every position change, every spot change.
Angle again. Sights set on the ankle of Samoa Joe, and he's got the submission hold applied. And look at the ring positioning. Could it be better for Kurt Angle?
Nice in the center, right in the middle. No ring rope grabbing at this point. Samoa Joe's going to find another way out of it.
Free leg, the free leg of Joe, but it just momentarily stopped Kurt, who maintains his grip.
And not only does he exert the effort, it looks like Kurt Angle's got even better positioning. Oh, he's on his feet. He's pulling back on that ankle. Joe's going to tap.
Look at this, his hands up. This is your career. This is your livelihood at stake, Joe. Oh, but look how far he's away from the rope. It's like he's in no man's land.
Again, every time he turns around, oh, look at him. He turned it back in his way.
Rear naked choke.
Great position. He's got it right to the chin. He's got it in tight. He's just sinking it a little bit deeper with his right hand. Got his legs crossed over his body. Kurt's stuck.
Look at Kurt using the referee. The referee trying to pull, but it's bringing Kurt closer to the rope.
And that's exactly what's happening. The referee's trying to break the grip of Angle, but all it did was it moved Angle closer to the rope to get the break.
The referee let it go because he knew it was desperation. I can't believe it.
How great was that?
How great was
using
that?
The ref to help you out.
You're talking about Olympic gold medalist using a move like that.
Oh, Joe was mad, and he lost his focus. Wait a minute.
He went for the slam again, but Joe comes out, rising headfirst into the steel.
Oh, what a kick! What a kick! Going back after him.
Oh, could it be muscle buster time again? Here we go. He's got him in.
He's got him. He's got him. Can he hit it?
Oh!
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no!
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and new TNA Heavyweight Champion of the World, the Samoan Submission Machine, Samoa Joe!
What an effort. What an effort.
Wow. I could not believe he pulled that up. I thought Kurt was going to get out of the muscle buster again, at least one more time. Great job. I really did not give Samoa Joe a chance in this. You guys heard me earlier. I didn't think Samoa Joe really had any shot of beating Kurt Angle. More than he proved me wrong. He deserves this belt. He almost was submitted 4 or 5 different times. He was outclassed in takedowns. He stayed with his tactics. He stayed with his game plan, and he pulled it together.
And the belt presentation. Belt presentation made by Joe's trainer, UFC fighter Marcus Davis. What a proud moment for the Samoan Submission Machine to hit that muscle buster and gain the 3 count, and not only become TNA champion, but to keep his professional wrestling career alive. And there you see the post-match embrace with Marcus Davis. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look. Let's take a video review, a recap of this great main event.
What a kick right right there by Samoa Joe. This is when he started making the comeback. But Kurt Angle with the belly to belly and then taking the leg out. I mean, then Kurt had the leg grabbed in, and it looked like Joe was going to tap. But Joe somehow turned that around, and then the decapitation clothesline. Whoa, then the shot to the chin, the kick, and then that power slam. And everybody realized it might be a magical night. But the Olympic slam took Joe there, and it was all Kurt Angle right here.
Here we go. Samoa Joe obviously in so much pain. Here it comes, the big kick to the head. I can't believe he's still enough energy in his legs to get it up. Then he immediately knows, I know exactly where I'm going to finish this fight. Here it comes. I'm going to end it on the biggest note possible. Samoa Joe, your heavyweight champion of the world.
What a moment for Samoa Joe. He put it all on the line, Mike. Every bit of it on the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been a part of history. Sunday, April the 13th, 2008 will always be remembered as the night that Samoa Joe became TNA World Heavyweight Champion. At Lockdown, they had a match for the ages, an epic encounter. And now, here tonight on Thursday Night Impact, it is time for the rematch. TNA World's Heavyweight Championship at stake. This time, Samoa Joe as the champion and the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle as the challenger.
You know, a question that's going to be in a lot of people's minds are, was it a good move for Kurt Angle to demand that rematch right away, to demand that rematch tonight? And you know, Mike, we won't know the answer until after this match is over with. But in my mind, it's a way of Kurt Angle not allowing Joe to enjoy that championship. I mean, he worked so hard to get it, and now, before he has time to really concentrate on what's going on, he's in that match again, trying to hold on.
And at the same time, it also tells us that Kurt Angle wants to stay one step ahead of Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. That's the reason that I like the idea of Angle not taking a backseat, immediately getting the contractually obligated return match, especially in light of Big Papa Pump, the genetic freak Scott Steiner, ready with that feast or fire title case that he's going to cash in Sunday, May the 11th at Sacrifice, when he faces the winner of this match tonight.
Talk about running into a brick wall. You know, I think about earlier when Kevin Nash said, the hard part's over, and I think I know what he means. His career's not on the line anymore. He doesn't have that to worry about now. He can concentrate on one thing, and that's pure wrestling, and that's beating Kurt Angle and establishing the fact that there is no doubt he's world champion.
Talk about establishing a position of power. That's exactly what Samoa Joe has done here in the opening minute of this match. The big power move that knocks Angle all the way from the six-sided ring and down to the arena floor sends a message to the challenger, and a message in a hurry.
Well, you can't argue about the focus, and you mentioned it. You know, when you interviewed Joe earlier today, I mean, he was working out in the ring at a fever pitch. I mean, that had to be impressive, Mike, to see how determined he was to be sharp in this ring tonight.
Determined and dedicated as well, and you can say that for both the champion and the challenger. I mean, to the point where he told his wife to leave the Impact Zone earlier. That just drives home the point of how focused both of these individuals are on tonight's title match.
You know, I saw Kurt Angle grab at his ribs, and you know both these guys have to be hurting after that matchup that they had at Lockdown inside the six sides of steel. I mean, it's a matter of adrenaline right now is carrying them through, but eventually the pain, the tear, and the wear and tear on your body is going to come into effect. Oh, what a shot by Joe!
Once again, exploiting the power edge that he has, Joe goes with the clothesline and then immediately grabs the side headlock. And look at what Joe is doing right now. He's putting the 280 pounds of that body weight that he has right on top of Kurt Angle. Right from the outset of this match, he's trying to wear Angle down.
You know, with each victory, you develop so much more confidence, and I think that's what Joe's showing now. This being the sixth time that they've met. Look at how smoothly he got out of the way, wraps that arm around the neck, and then just spins him over. I mean, look at the look on his face, Mike. That's confidence.
You're right, a quiet confidence from the defending champ Samoa Joe as he maintains the position of power. The side headlock, again, the weight all over Angle, who makes his way back up to the vertical base. That's important for Kurt if he's going to mount some kind of a comeback here against Samoa Joe.
Kurt Angle right now, oh, look at him, just resorting to dirty tactics. Had to rake the eyes, he had to do something to break that hold, that power that Joe had, and there you see the uppercut. Just jacked his jaw.
European uppercut, it just rocked, it dazed, it confused Samoa Joe, and Angle, he senses that, follows up in the corner with the exact same move. Angle measures, charges in, but Joe able to use the quickness that he has to move out of the way. And when you talk about Samoa Joe, oftentimes you don't point out the agility and the quickness, but a move like this will drive it home.
Whoa, suicide dive right on top of Kurt Angle. I mean, look at that. He had him set up, and let's show it to you again. He goes right through the second and third rope, and he hits Kurt Angle dead on.
Joe takes control. Don't go anywhere. When we return to Impact, more of the TNA World Heavyweight Championship matchup. And welcome back to the most anticipated return match in TNA Wrestling's 6-year history. Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, World Heavyweight Championship at stake, and Joe catches Angle unaware and then follows up with a big boot that decked him, drops him, senton backsplash right on the money. Here's the cover, here's the pin, no.
A little nonchalant, but let's just show you a replay of that sequence. There you see the kick, and then there you see the swanton on the back. And now he smacks him in the back and the kick to the chin. It's almost like every time Kurt Angle gets something going on, Joe's got a counter. 2. Oh, man.
Again, the agility of Samoa Joe comes into play. The champ goes airborne, drops the knee, and as a result, look at Angle back off in the corner. Joe follows up like a full court press, puts the boot right across the face. Oh, and there's a face wash in the corner. The repeated shots skidding the boot across the head and face. Oh, and then there's a big face wash as he came charging across the ring.
I mean, he's toying with them right now. It is amazing to see this transformation that Joe has right now. It's like all the weight is off his shoulders. It's like he knows he's the world champion. He knows he deserves to be the world champion. And he's just doing what he wants. And look at him snap that off right there on Kurt Angle.
Snap suplex. Joe maintains control, puts the 280 pounds across with the lateral press. Angle powers out, and then Joe immediately goes to the submission move as you see that cross arm breaker applied. Angle with the perfect defense, closing the gap by gripping his hands together.
You know, Mike, it's almost like Joe's been a little nonchalant on some of those pin attempts. It's like he's sending the message that he will leave no doubt in Kurt Angle's mind. And you can see Kurt Angle, though, fighting, survival. That's all he's thinking about now when he gets that foot on the ropes. Got to break it up.
Oh, very fortunate for Kurt Angle that he was able to make contact, and barely, with that bottom steel cable, getting the rope break. Joe follows up, right hand to the side of the head. That rocks Angle. That one right on the point of the chin. Angle tries to fight back, first with the boot, and then the release suplex.
But you can see, though, that was all that Kurt Angle had in him at that point. He needs to do a few things like that to get things back going his way, and it looks like Joe hit the back of his head hard. Look at him grab that. Sometimes it's just something like that that can turn this around, and now he goes right for the neck to take that air out of him.
Reverse chin lock applied by Angle, trying to put pressure. Oh, and look at this, now trying to rearrange the facial features of the defending TNA World Heavyweight Champ Samoa Joe. Referee Earl Hebner forces him to break, but you see that Angle goes right back to the reverse chin lock.
You know, maybe Joe got a little too cocky. Maybe he got a little too confident. Somebody like Kurt Angle can exploit that. He just waited for the right moment. But Joe gets to his feet and just putting those elbows right into his gut to have him break the hold. Uh-oh.
Look out. Belly to belly. That time overhead release suplex, and take into account that's a near 300-pounder that you just tossed overhead.
And in his mind, he's got to be thinking, what have I got to do? I was dominating. And now Kurt Angle, quick pin attempt, didn't quite have enough. But you can see Kurt Angle. You can just tell by the look in his eye. He's feeling the confidence. I mean, this guy's held that belt for so long, and he wants it back. And look at Joe right there. Joe trying to get air.
You sense that the seeds of doubt almost planted in the mind of Samoa Joe, strictly because of the confidence of Kurt Angle. Don, you pointed it out best. Opening minutes of this match, total domination by the champ Samoa Joe. Kurt Angle never panicked. Instead, Angle uses that as motivation, turns it around, and now it's Angle that's in control as Joe tries to fight his way back up.
Well, you can sense the desperation. Joe gets to his feet. He knows that's such a better base. Now he got his hands between him and Angle, but Angle, for good measure, just rakes the eyes. And then, but he charged right in, and that power slam that Joe does takes you up in the air, and the momentum drives him down, and you saw Angle's back blow up in pain. As you can see, Joe still hurting, trying to get to his feet, but what a shot.
Last-ditch effort by Samoa Joe stems the tide. The offensive onslaught of Kurt Angle momentarily derailed. Angle tries crawling on hands and knees to the corner, but Joe's right on it. Series of shots. Second one, right hand, right into the ear of Angle. Hebner says, open hand. Don't hit him with those fists. Another shot by Joe, and again, Hebner gets right in his face. Here comes Joe. Angle drops down, and Joe goes all the way over to the top, and a bad landing on his knee out here on the arena floor.
Mike, he did. Oh, wait a minute. He just collapsed under the weight. He hurt his knee, Mike. We can see it right here in front of us. He caught that knee flush. And now Kurt Angle going over there. He can sense it. He goes right after that left knee and just starts kicking right into it. Oh, you can hear that scream from Joe. He is in unbelievable pain. Oh, this is just bad. You hate to see things end like this.
You can just sense the concern here in the impact zone from the announcers to the fans, all over the condition of Samoa Joe. And Angle at the same time, he senses that he's got his opponent wounded. He's got him weakened. Will Samoa Joe be able to survive? We'll find out when we return to Impact. And we are back on Impact with the TNA World Heavyweight title match. Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle. And as Angle applies the figure 4 leg lock, let's take you back to during the commercial break as the trainer and Kevin Nash were very concerned with the condition of Samoa Joe.
You know, Mike, one of the things that you were hearing him say were the words we and us. And at one point he said, don't let us down. I mean, Kevin Nash has taken ownership of this championship with all the work that he's done with Samoa Joe. And he knew the right words to say to get Samoa Joe to bear through that pain and to get on his feet. But the problem now, Kurt Angle's just applying more and more pressure to that leg.
And you could almost sense that emotional involvement, that emotional attachment by Kevin Nash, almost as if Kevin Nash is one of us, one of the TNA fans supporting Samoa Joe.
Look at those Samoa Joe. You can just hear him. You can feel the pain in every inflection of his voice and desperation. He's trying to slide over, grabbing the foot, pulling. He's just fighting through it. He realizes what's at stake, but he's got to get a hand to the rope. If he's going to break this off, can he get there? He's reaching. He's reaching. He's got it.
Finally, the rope break for Samoa Joe, and referee Hebner has to pry the legs apart. Angle wasn't going to give up that easily.
Now the questions. How badly is the knee damaged? Can he support his body weight? Kurt Angle not even going to give him a chance to get to his feet. Goes right to it, kicks it, grabs the leg again, applies pressure with the knee, and pulls back on it in a direction it's not supposed to go.
Great ring positioning for Angle as well. You'll notice that he took Joe by the leg, pulled him back out towards the center of the six-sided ring. Joe tries to fight back. The series of chops, and finally he's able to break that vice grip of Angle, and they exchange punches, both men on their feet, and who's going to get the better of it here?
Well, one thing about it, look at that. Joe realizes he's just got to keep going. He's got to fight through it one shot after another. But does he have enough to sling him across? And look at that, he had no speed. He could get no speed up to charge. Oh, but you don't need speed when you got him like that. 1, 2, oh my God, just at the last second.
High angle spine buster by Samoa Joe. Almost leads to the pin and almost leads to him retaining the TNA World's title. You may have noted a little sense of frustration by Samoa Joe as he didn't get the 3 count. Instead he comes back, snap slam, pin, and oh man, how close can you come?
I'll tell you something though, that It's hard work, that's training, that's knowing where you're at in the ring. He had that distance shortened. He knew Kurt Angle didn't have time to extend, but look at Angle. He goes right to it, grabs the ankle for the ankle lock, but Joe doesn't give him time to cinch it in.
Perfect reversal, perfect counter, the roll through, but then Angle moves out of the way, Olympic slam. Oh man, he's got Joe now. Here it is.
1, 2, oh, Joe gets it up in time. The problem Joe has, Mike, he just can't build enough speed. The leg, the knee, he just can't get the proper speed behind it to get to Kurt.
Angle heads to the corner. Angle gonna go high risk. This could be that top rope moonsault that we've seen from him in the past. No! Joe moves out of the way.
And he waited to the last split second. We've got to show you how smooth Joe was here. He sees it coming, and he rolls out of the way just in time. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, like the spider. Moving out of the way, allowing Angle to come right into his web. Look at Joe roll through, and rear naked choke. Kakina clutch applied, but instead Angle drops down and goes right back to the ankle lock.
I like the move by Joe. He felt it was easier to somersault across than run across, but all it did was allow Kurt Angle to get a hold of that ankle. And even though he tries to kick him off this time, Angle's not letting go. And he's back to his feet. Oh, Kurt Angle knows how close it is to taking that belt back.
Referee Hebner right in the face of Samoa Joe in anticipation of him submitting, tapping out, but instead it's the rear naked choke again from the champ.
What a counter! Able to reverse it, kick the feet out from underneath him, and he fell right on top, and he got it. Look at the look on Joe's face. Look at those eyes. It's everything he's got in him, and you can see he's just pulling so hard.
Look
trying
out!
To make
He's so
Kurt
close to the ropes.
Oh.
Again, a situation where Samoa Joe had the perfect submission hold, but he didn't have the perfect ring positioning, and as a result, Kurt Angle, in spite of being dazed, was able to reach out, make contact, and get the rope break. Here it is, up in the corner. Could be muscle buster time. Instead, yes, Angle fights him off. Went for the kick. Oh my God, he hit Hebner.
He was able to duck, and the boot just caught Hebner right in the face on the kick. And oh, the low blow, the low kick by Kurt Angle. He takes him up, and he hits him with the Olympic slam.
Angle straps down after the Olympic slam, but referee Earl Hebner's knocked out. Trying to revive him, dragging him, pulling him towards a pin attempt apparently, or a submission hold, and he's gonna go back for the ankle lock.
Oh, look at this. He's got it tightened in. He feels that's his best bet to make Joe tap as he's pulling him towards the center of the
I thought
ring.
Joe was gonna tap right there. You saw him raise his hand. Instead, roll through and free leg kicks.
Whoa, what was that?
Scott Steiner. I think he's got a lead pipe.
He was sitting over there hiding, and he nailed him with the lead pipe. And now Joe's got Angle. Oh, he just flips him right over. 1, 2, got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still TNA Heavyweight Champion of the World, the Samoan Submission Machine, Samoa Joe.
What in the hell is Scott Steiner doing? He's gonna get his match at Sacrifice. What on earth is he thinking? We're watching this epic battle between two greats, Mike, today. That is uncalled for.
What could Scott Steiner's motivation be? Well, according to Scott Steiner, it's all about respect or lack thereof from Kurt Angle towards himself, and now the face-off, the two men who will meet at Sacrifice, Scott Steiner, Samoa Joe for the TNA title.
Wow, Joe just had all he could take. He was listening to Steiner tell him that the only reason he won was because of him. Wait a minute.
Scott Steiner! You touch one man and I'll fine you 6 months worth of pay!
Jim Cornette trying to maintain some sense of control.
All I saw here tonight from this match and from you is that we didn't settle anything. So at Sacrifice, we're gonna settle everything. It will be for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle versus Scott Steiner. A three-way. We're gonna let it all hang out and somebody will make a sacrifice.
Can you imagine it? Sacrifice. New tag champs in Deuces Wild. A knockout's getting her head shaved. And a three-way that will change the world title landscape forever.
Joe, he's the type of guy where he's in a rage right now. Unfortunately for him, this past Sunday at Sacrifice, he was on the losing end. Him and Magnus are losing their World Tag Team titles. Cesarian and Daniels. So I don't know if I'm Kurt Angle right now, if I want to deal with Samoa Joe, but you have to. Massive opportunity here to go on to Fight Night. You get an opportunity, possibly, at the world title.
Well, you're right, because 1 week from tonight, it's the return of Gut Check. And it is open. Fight Night challenge issued, must be accepted. And in addition, we already know, Hulk Hogan told us earlier that the World Heavyweight title is going to be the championship that's going to be defended. Hulk Hogan's going to pick one of 4 men to face Bobby Roode for that title 1 week from tonight. We've already qualified 3. Let's find out who number 4 is going to be.
Kurt Angle smart. He realized that nasty flurry right there by Joe. So what Kurt does, he gets out of the ring and stops Joe's early momentum. Kurt's figuring, hey, I'm going to dictate the pace here.
It's a cautious Kurt Angle that re-enters the ring to square off and face the Samoan submission machine. Joe going to try and get some of the strikes in here against Kurt.
Wow, quick. He drop steps into that double leg.
Nobody quicker, nobody faster, is there?
Ground and pound. No, there's not. It's just his technique is just perfect. That's what it is with Kurt. His pure wrestling technique is perfect. And that's how Joe got caught by that double leg before he could do anything. Usually you try to sprawl if someone goes for a single or double leg. No chance for Joe to do that, but now Joe running right through Kurt.
Yeah, you would think Joe would try to capitalize on the edge that he has here, the advantage, which is size, which is power, which is weight, as he goes airborne and drops the knee right across the chest.
But I got to say, from a quickness standpoint, these 2 men might be closer in that regard than some might think just by looking at them. Sure. Joe is deceivingly quick. He also possesses tremendous cardiovascular. Look at that.
Yeah, how about the disrespect of the face wash in the corner for the Olympic gold medalist?
Again, this is just humongous opportunity to go on to open Fight Night next week. Look at this. Beautiful suplex right there over the head, belly to belly by Angle. Those quick hips, explosive, low popping hips. Great job by Kurt.
Boy, and an accomplishment, too, to get some good. What's the story here? Bobby Roode, our World Heavyweight Champion, coming out to watch. We're going to take a break. More of Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle.
Who's heading over here?
I don't know. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back on Impact Wrestling, our main event, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, and we have been joined at the broadcast table by the World Heavyweight Champion, Bobby Roode. And Bobby, your celebration of domination that you proposed earlier tonight, let's just say Hulk Hogan had other thoughts, eh?
Yeah, my celebration of domination. 7 days from now, I will become the longest reigning World Heavyweight Champion in the history of this company. And Hulk Hogan is taking that opportunity away from me. Next week, I have to come out here and I have to defend my title against one of 4 men.
Well, you know, champ, you know right now, Bully Ray has advanced. AJ Styles has advanced, and so has Jeff Hardy. And now, obviously, we're trying to see who's going to advance here between these 2 men. You have a preference. I mean, that's the obvious question. Who would you like to face?
Look at Taz, I have beaten everybody there is to beat in this company. I'm not afraid of anybody. There's nothing and no one that's going to stop me from becoming the longest reigning world champion in this company's history. Nobody.
I can tell you, whoever it is that you're going to face, you've had a long history with all of these individuals, from AJ Styles to Bully Ray to Jeff Hardy, or even one of these 2, whoever it's going to be that wins this matchup between Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle.
I've beaten Jeff Hardy, I've beaten AJ Styles, I've beaten Bully Ray. All right? I'm not afraid of anyone. I will, at the end of the day, walk out with my World Heavyweight Championship, and I will go down in history as the longest reigning champion ever.
Well, there's no, I don't think anybody here, I don't think anybody in the world can talk negatively about your ability as a competitor and as a champion. There's no doubt about that. But I gotta say, this is tough. People are coming at you left and right. Since you're the world champ, you know you're a marked man, and that's gotta be tough to deal with.
That's part of the program. When you're the world champion, everybody wants going up for you. Everybody wants to be the world heavyweight champion. I've wanted to be the world heavyweight champion for 13 years, and I am.
Watch this pin here by Joe, and no, just a 2 count. Well, think about the possibilities. What if Hulk Hogan picks the phenomenal AJ Styles to challenge for that title belt as we see the snap slam and the pin? And no, just 2 from Samoa Joe. AJ Styles, he holds the record at this point as longest reigning world heavyweight champion.
Do you not think I know that, Mike? Do you not think I know that? I'm up to date on what's going on around here. I know who's had the belt long. I know that. I know AJ Styles is the guy who's had it the longest. I am going to beat that record next week. Do you understand? I don't care if it's 8.
Hold on.
I've seen this before.
Yeah, those German suplexes, you know, when Kurt has that clasp around your waist, Bobby, as you know, it's tough to break that, and he pops off these throws. Bring us to the ring, man. Break down Kurt Angle in these suplexes.
I was in the ring with the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle at Bound for Glory last year. I know what it's like when he locks those hands and he hooks your waist and he gives you those German suplexes. He's a machine. He's a machine. Kurt Angle is a machine, and trust me, if it's Kurt Angle next week, I'll be ready for him. The results next week will be different than they were at Bound for Glory.
Straps come down. This is where Angle going to get real serious and turn it up against Joe. Following the suplex is going to take him up.
Counter.
Went for the ankle
choke.
Then it's it. That rear naked choke applied.
Look at that.
Angle drops down.
He's a machine.
Ankle lock.
Great job by Kurt Angle. Look at this counter though by Joe. All that size and power. Oh, look at that high round kick right to the face. That was nasty.
You've been in there with Samoa Joe, too. What's it like to get nailed by one of those kicks?
Joe will knock you absolutely loopy. Joe is a huge man, and he's quick, and he's strong.
Deceivingly quick,
he's
right?
Very deceiving.
Yeah, it's hard to, you know, for people to really grasp that. I'm saying that earlier.
He's an amazing athlete, and not as amazing as me.
Oh, look at this. This might be an amazing angle. Oh, my!
Angle slam. Joe dropped on his head. Kurt covers, hooks the leg, and amazingly, Samoa Joe gets his shoulder up before 3.
Again, both these men realize the opportunity at hand, that they have an opportunity to fill that 4th slot to face you, champ. To go on possibly whoever Hulk Hogan chooses next week at Open Fight Night, who will he face to go against you? That's the question, because you're defending that beautiful title next week.
That's the problem, is I don't even know who I'm going to defend. I know it's one of 4 men, but I don't even know. That's the problem, is Hulk Hogan is keeping it all a secret. He's trying to screw with me, and I'm tired of it.
Why is he singling you out?
Because he's jealous. That's why. He's jealous of me. He knows how good I am. He knows what great champion I am. He knows that in a matter of...
Wait, Bobby, look at this.
Here we go.
Got that ankle lock again.
This might be it right here.
He's got it locked in. If Kurt can grapevine that leg and get his legs in.
This is a very painful maneuver, and he's hanging on to it.
That alleviates it a little bit if you roll to your back, but Kurt flattens out Joe to his stomach again.
And how about the way that Angle was able to maintain the grip when Joe tried to reverse it? Free leg used by Samoa Joe, but Kurt still has the ankle hook.
Tenacious, showing that tenacity, and that's what makes Kurt, that's what's made him a great champion and an Olympic gold medalist also. But Joe's trying to roll. Oh! Can he follow up? His ankle's gonna be killed, right? It's gonna be real bad. Oh, man! Oh. There's that power you were talking about. Right there, Bobby. Beautiful.
Looks like he's going to set up for the muscle buster right here.
Well,
Can he get him up, though, on that ankle?
That's the question. And if he does nail that muscle buster with the history of Kurt Angle's neck issues, you got to figure he'll get the win if he can nail it.
Boy, here it is. Here's step number 1, positioning Angle up in the corner. Going to take him out of the corner up on his shoulders. Kurt doing everything to fight it off, and he was able to stop Joe. Yeah, but then took the chop from Samoa Joe, and the headbutt back from Kurt. Quick roll throughout the corner. Angle's got the momentum. Stacks up Joe and gets the pin in the win.
Kurt Angle.
The Olympic
Kurt Angle. Okay. Fine.
Man, he was tense, man. Bobby Roode, the world champion. Really, he knows he's a marked man come next week Open Fight Night. And Kurt Angle, congrats to Kurt Angle. The 4 slots, Bully Ray, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy. One of those men. We'll go on next week. Whoever Hulk Hogan deems to face that man, Bobby Roode, for the world title.
Open Fight Night is going to be tremendous 1 week from tonight. World Heavyweight title belt is going to be on the line. Kurt Angle says, I'm ready. I'd love to get a shot at that championship. Look at this. Up in the impact zone, up in the crowd. Jeff Hardy, one of the 4 qualifiers as well. And you know, Jeff Hardy, charismatic enigma, says, put me in. I want that world title shot.
Well, I think Jeff Hardy come out here just to remind Bobby Roode, don't forget about me, I qualified. Kurt's in the ring saying, let's do it now. Look at this now fully ringed. He's in the back, he was, I should say, behind Roode on the stage.
Boy, coming at the World Heavyweight Champion here from every direction. And don't forget about the phenomenal one, AJ Styles.
This past Friday night in Charleston, South Carolina, when Kurt Angle forced the Pope to submit, he picked up 10 points, and as a result, now has 20 points in the Bound for Glory series.
Yeah, we were in Charleston on Friday night, great TNA Live event, and I flew back on the same plane with Kurt Angle on Saturday morning. Managed to weasel my way up to first class and talk to Kurt for a little bit. And Kurt made it very clear. How about this? From here on out, he says every match he competes in the Bound for Glory series, he is going to try and go for that 10 points. He's going to try and end it via submission. And obviously, earning those extra points, he feels will be the key to getting the advantage, getting the points, and continuing all the way to the main event of Bound for Glory in October. To be able to do that, he's got to go through the Samoan submission machine, a man who also could use those 10 points in a big way tonight.
It's a great strategy, and you know that both of these men who specialize in submissions will be doing their damnedest to get that 10 points that you pick up with a submission victory. If you look at it from Kurt Angle's standpoint, if he were to get a pin win over Samoa Joe tonight, he'd move into a tie for second with 27 points. Submission win would put him into second with 30 points, while Samoa Joe at the same time could pick up 7 points from a pin, as we see Angle immediately go for that ankle lock in the early going. If Samoa Joe were able to get a submission win on Kurt Angle, he'd pick up 10 points. And looking at the updated leaderboard, Samoa Joe would move into first place with the 10 points, right?
Your calculations are indeed accurate, Professor. That is true. Both men obviously in a position right now with this matchup. We heard it. I heard it first person from Kurt Angle. I would imagine Samoa Joe is going to have the exact same game plan. Obviously, two different wrestlers in their own selves, obviously in their styles, their personality, but both just among the best at submission wrestling. You can't top these two. And obviously, whoever gets the advantage is going to try and capitalize and put the exclamation point on the end of this sentence via submission tonight.
It's just such a surprise when you looked at the Cowboy, James Storm, the time that he won that opening gauntlet match, took a commanding lead in the Bound for Glory series, and now to have competitors like Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, potentially breathing down his neck or possibly even taking over the lead. Feast wash in the corner coming up.
1, 2, 3.
Wow. Power behind the running knee from Samoa Joe. Directed to the head of Kurt Angle. 15-minute time limit, like it is for all matches in the Bound for Glory series. And what a turnaround in terms of 1 year to the next for Samoa Joe when it comes to that Bound for Glory series.
Well, you're certainly right, Mike. There's no question about it. As he looks at the points and as he sees who is on top of the leaderboard with the Cowboy James Storm out in front after that big 20-point win to kick the whole thing off, he knows that his strategy has to be win and win often all the way through October. You got to have a several-month run of success to go on the Bound for Glory.
You love the physicality when these two men square off, and this time, Angle hurled all the way over the top. Samoa Joe tossing Kurt out, and you see Angle landing well past the mat that covers the arena floor, out on the concrete. Head of steam for Joe. Big 300-pounder goes airborne. Suicide dive by Joe right on target.
And there isn't another 300-pounder in this industry that can fly like Samoa Joe. Obviously, we've seen the strength, we've seen the submission, we've seen the size. Nobody moves like Samoa Joe in that ring.
Wow. first, Kurt tossed all the way out to the concrete. Joe immediately follows up. You pointed out the quickness of Samoa Joe, and it was on display right there. Big forearm shot off the suicide dive. Angle rolled back in, and Joe left himself wide open. Surprised to see that Samoa Joe would put himself in a position like that. Complexion of the match quickly turns in favor of the Olympic gold medalist. Joe able to counter, turn it around on Kurt, then punctuate it with the kick to the back of the head of Angle. Kurt set up in the corner. The muscle buster attempt by Joe. Stop, blocked by the Angle headbutt of all things. And then how about Kurt's follow-up move?
Well, obviously a drop kick off the top rope, not a move you see normally from Kurt Angle, but you know what? We've also seen Kurt Angle moonsault from the top of a steel cage. We've seen a lot from this man, and obviously when the chips are down, Kurt Angle will take great risks.
Look at that.
It turns a great reward.
Angle senses that he's back in control. Just like he told you, JB, he's going to try and go the submission route to try and pick up the 10 points. It's a very sound strategy when you are as accomplished in submission moves as Kurt Angle is. Same for Samoa Joe. Joe back up to his feet, gonna reel off the elbows. Series of shots to the midsection by Joe. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stopped by Kurt, who unleashes the belly-to-belly release suplex. Kurt drops down, go for the pin win here. Saw the opening right there, why not take advantage of it?
And Kurt Angle always talks about his great opponents he's faced over his incredible career. He lists Samoa Joe among the best, and obviously has a deep respect for what Joe does in the ring. Whether or not they get along, well, that's a different story. But at the same time, he knows what he's in there with. He knows that he can't take this lightly for one moment. And obviously, at this stage of the game, with the points on the line at Bound for Glory series and looking at that October main event opportunity, both men need these points right now in their positions, second and fourth place, respectively.
Couldn't agree more. Huge match in terms of points in the series as we find out who's going to move on in the month of October to challenge at our biggest pay-per-view event of the year. Quick strikes from Angle, caught Joe off guard. That time, Joe able to get the elbow up. We made the announcement on Thursday night on Impact Wrestling. Phoenix, Arizona, going to be the location for Bound for Glory this year. As Joe, out of the corner, just amazing for someone his size. Caught him leg lariat, follow pin, and no, just two. That one was close.
Real close.
Excited about going to Phoenix for Bound for Glory?
Can't wait to go to Phoenix. We have never done a show in Phoenix. I could list you 500 places around the world we've been to in the last 10 years, but never before in Phoenix, Arizona. And obviously, looking at the biggest pay-per-view event of the year, I have a lot of people in Arizona. We hear from followers on Twitter, on Facebook. The crowd is going to be fantastic. The building brand new. Looking forward to heading to Phoenix in October.
Joe trying to exploit the power game. Got caught by the Angle elbow, but then Joe was prepared. Inverted atomic drop, followed by a boot that drops Kurt. The 300-pounder again airborne. This time with the backsplash, leads to a pin, and again Angle barely getting that shoulder up before Hebner counts three. Frustration on the face of Joe. Thought he had the pin right there. Thought he was going to pick up 7 points. Snap, slam. Joe leads to a cover. Samoan on top. Here goes a potential submission win as he attempts an armbar, but the perfect counter by Kurt Angle.
That's presence of mind. That's experience. He knows he's got to lock his other hand. And look at that. Kurt Angle reverses it into the ankle lock.
Ankle lock, submission hold. The patented finishing move of Kurt. It's applied, but Joe able to use his weight, roll through, free leg kicks him off. Wow. Suplex one. Kurt still has the grip. And it's one thing to be suplexing someone who's 240, 250, and that's impressive. But then when you do it to the 300-pounder.
And that's a risky move by Angle as well, because he knows if he doesn't get Joe over him vertically, it's done. He's going to land right squarely on him. Look at this. He's going to try it for a third time.
And does. Sensational series of 3 suplexes by Kurt Angle. But boy, it took a lot out of Kurt as well. Angle slowly back up. But once he gets to his feet, he's got that renewed enthusiasm as he slides back behind. This time Joe has an answer.
There's another answer. Just boot him right in the face. Setting him up now. We've seen this in the corner before. If he's able to get him up, you know what's coming, Mike.
Usually step 1 to the rear naked choke is the muscle buster. And out of the corner, oh, Kurt slides straight down. Able to not go for the pin attempt, but instead rolls through and applies the ankle lock. Pressure is on Samoa Joe. Fight through, come up with a counter, make your way to the ropes and get a break. Because if you tap out, Kurt Angle's going to pick up 10 points in the series. Again, it's the weight of Joe as he rolls through and uses the free leg to kick off. Wow. Angle charges in. Joe overpowers. Kurt set up on top again. Joe, this time he's got him for the muscle buster. And this time he hits it. Joe gonna go for the rear naked choke here or the pin. It's the pin. Going for 7 points and Angle gets it up before 3. Oh, I didn't think that was gonna happen. That looked like a sure pinfall victory for Samoa Joe off the muscle buster. He saw Angle down on the mat, decided to go for the quick 7 points, not going for the submission win.
And I think most interesting out of that is Joe opted to go for the pin instead of the submission, knowing that at this stage of the game, he thought, well, I know I can put him away with the muscle buster. I'm going to try it, go for the pin, get the 7 points, and now look at this.
Rear naked choke is applied. But amazingly, Angle drops down. And check out the ring positioning of the ankle lock. Dead center in the middle. Long way for Joe to go.
When it comes,
in terms of getting a break, is he going to tap right here? Is Kurt going to pick up the 10?
A lot of times it's not how you get your opponent in these moves, it's where you get your opponent. In something like the ankle lock, and look at Kurt Angle dragging Joe back to the center of the ring.
Just when it looked like Joe was making up ground to get the rope break. Kurt instead, able to roll through. How about that?
What a reversal.
Rear naked choke is applied. Kikina clutch. Samoa Joe, he's got the rear naked choke. He's got his legs wrapped around Kurt as well. Kurt thinking about tapping. You can sense his hand right there. Is he going to tap? Oh, Kurt fighting through the pain.
All right, Joe just has that cinched in.
Joe's got the firm grip. Kurt doing everything within his power to try and break it. But Joe right on top of him. And not only Samoa Joe with the choke, but putting all of his weight on Kurt, who digs down deep and Angle comes back. Angle slam. Could be Kurt's pin. Cover. Here we go.
Both men throwing everything in their arsenal at each other.
It has been just what you would anticipate in this storied rivalry with so much at stake in the Bound for Glory series. Straps come down, and if there's any way for Kurt to turn it up another notch, that's what he's going to do. Oh my, what a kick by Joe right into the face of Kurt. Again, Joe up, able to slide over this time. No Angle slam instead. It's Joe back with the rear naked choke.
And Angle trying for the roll through, and in the In the process, took himself down to the ground. Not where you want to be when you're in this move. Look at that. Look at the situation Kurt Angle is in.
Referee Earl Hebner right on top of the scene.
Joe has that left arm hooked as well. That means Kurt only has his right hand free to try and bust that choke.
Kurt fighting. Doing everything within his power. But boy, Samoa Joe has had it on for a long time.
He has it locked in.
Cinched in so tight to Samoa Joe. And Earl Hebner calls for the bell.
Kurt Angle went several seconds there without even moving, and that's the sign you're out. That's the sign you've got nothing left. And Kurt Angle hasn't moved since.
Well, I gotta say, I completely agree with Kurt Angle when I heard about this announcement by the Olympic Committee to eliminate amateur wrestling from the Olympics. That's a friggin' outrage, and it's ridiculous. But they keep badminton and synchronized swimming? Come on, please.
Now, for once, you're not going to get an argument from me, Taz.
Craziness, man. Craziness.
Time to write yet another chapter in this incredible rivalry. Maybe the best rivalry in company history. So many famous, so many historic and classic matches between Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle throughout the years. Maybe the irony is, Todd, those famous matches that they had at Lockdown, could one of these men be moving into the World Heavyweight title shot against Jeff Hardy at Lockdown this year?
Sure could. Both of these former world champions know each other so well. A great platform to impress Hulk Hogan when you think of just how tough the competition is in this match. You touch on their Lockdown Classic, another chapter here, Mike, and these matches always so physical. And when Kurt Angle, as he's eating a bunch of jabs, when he first came to TNA Wrestling, he went right after Samoa Joe, and they've had a rich history ever since.
Well, speaking on behalf of the esteemed Aces and Eights, I can assure you, we love this. We love seeing two guys like this, Joe and Angle, beat the holy high hell, boom, out of each other. I think it's awesome.
And in separate conversations I had with Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle earlier today, both told me, as we see Joe go for the cover and get a 2 count, both men told me they want to avenge the beatings of Aces and Eights, but they need to focus on the task at hand tonight because of what's at stake here, because Hulk Hogan is watching, and he will decide who gets the Lockdown World title shot tonight.
Samoa Joe remains in control, really been able to string together the strikes here. Look at this, beautiful belly-to-belly throw, though, by the Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah, great job by Kurt Angle there. I mean, just Kurt Angle could suplex you from any corner of the ring, any part of your body he grabs. He's got just tremendous hips. Great suplex there by Angle.
Both these guys so well versed in all forms of combat, really able to bring the MMA style into their offense. And we mentioned, fans, again, that Bellator MMA Live coming up right after Impact Wrestling. The bantamweight title on the line, as well as the middleweight quarterfinal fights.
Yeah, the background of Kurt Angle, so well established. At the same time, Samoa Joe has a judo background, trains extensively with MMA fighters, and Bellator is next as Kurt continues the offense with the suplex.
And speaking of Bellator, Dixie Carter, TNA president, as Kurt Angle rolls into the cover here, appeared on Bellator MMA Live just last week with a big announcement. And we're going to recap that announcement later on tonight here on Impact Wrestling. Stay on top of all things TNA by following TNA President Dixie Carter on social media, on Facebook.com/TNA Dixie, and of course on Twitter @TNA Dixie. He's been making so many big announcements as of late, so much going on Impact Wrestling. Great to be here in London as this one-on-one match between Angle and Joe rolls on.
Just when it looks like Samoa Joe is going to get the offense rolling, he gets cut off by the Olympic gold medalist. More of Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe right after this on Impact Wrestling.
Welcome back to Impact Wrestling from Wembley Arena in London, England, as two competitive rivals continue to go at it here. High-stakes matchup.
It's Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle. General Manager Hulk Hogan. He's watching this matchup so closely because later tonight, Hulk Hogan's going to tell us who gets the world title shot against Jeff Hardy at Lockdown, and it's Kurt Angle with the go-behind on Joe. We remind you that Lockdown, the live pay-per-view, coming to the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas on March the 10th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. But Tom, there's more.
Oh yeah, as Angle's taken to the outside. What a huge weekend it's gonna be in San Antonio in the Lone Star State. That huge fan interaction opportunity as well. VIP packages, fan interaction, and tickets. Go to shoptna.com for all the info. And a big suicide dive elbow there by Joe.
Let's take another look here. Hold on. Let's
take another look at this.
Yeah, watch Samoa Joe here, the athleticism of this very large man with a flying forearm shiver. Boom, right to Kurt Angle's face.
Angle and Joe going at it, trying to press the Hulkster. One guy that is not in action tonight is Bully Ray. He would have loved to have been, but he suffered a quad injury in that tables match when he partnered with Sting, out of action tonight as a result.
Of course he got a quad injury, Bully Ray. You're dealing with aces and eights last week. Come on, kidding me?
Samoa Joe pulling out all the stops, goes for the cover, and gets a near fall on Kurt. And the physicality of this match just reflects the importance of this match as it relates to Lockdown and the world title shot against Jeff Hardy.
It's tremendous. I'm getting text messages while this is going on from my brothers and aces and eights with a bunch of LOL saying this is awesome. Watching these two guys kill each other.
Well, we know that both Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle, they still have their minds on avenging the beatdowns from aces and eights, but they had to focus on this match tonight because it's so important. They need that first as Kurt Angle connects yet again.
How about the wave there by the crowd as well, just going along for the ride with those German suplexes. They were with Angle on every one of those and definitely taking their toll on the Samoan submission machine. Angle slam attempt, but Joe counters and goes right back to the jabs.
Joe does so well. He has a mixture of his grappling ability and his striking. Oh!
Wow, could you hear Joe there saying, get your ass down, hit him with the ST Joe out of the corner. Both these guys match up so well.
And your timing task couldn't be better when it comes to both the wrestling, the MMA background, as well as the strengths of Samoa Joe. He's finally had the chance to put it all together here against Kurt Angle.
That's what you have to do against someone to the international world-class level of a Kurt Angle. There's no stopping Kurt Angle. You see a nice drop kick off the ropes there. Kurt Angle's locked and loaded here.
After the missile drop kick, looking for the Angle slam again, muscles him up and gets it. But Joe pops right back into the coquina clutch.
How impressive was that for Samoa Joe to fight through the pain of the Angle slam and then hook on the rear naked choke. But now, here goes Kurt, submission time.
Beautiful transition now by the Olympic gold medalist, looking for the submission. He's got him locked, he's got him in the center. Will Joe tap?
Oh, it's a big party here for Kurt Angle. Everyone's having a good time watching Joe about the tap.
The toughness of the Samoan submission machine. He's got no quit in his vocabulary. He's trying to get to the ropes, but he's a long way away. Rolls through to counter, beautifully done. But how much damage was done?
What a collision that time, as both Angle and Joe, they drop each other. Both went for the clothesline. Both connect, and now they're both down. Who's going to get back up to their feet first?
It's a battle of wills now in London.
Oh, wait. Things just picked up.
The hell?
Talk about a party? Well, here comes my boys, Party Poopers.
Wes Briscoe, Garrett Bischoff, the two turncoats that joined Aces and Eights. They've come out to spoil this great match.
Yeah, these two jumped Angle after the cage match. Once they revealed themselves, they had jumped Joe in the back, you gotta believe, and now they just ruined this match.
Wait. Briscoe, careful now, get out of there. Yeah, get out of there.
Yeah, they'll get out of there all right, but they'll be under their own power.
Good job by the young guns of aces and eights right there. Briscoe and Bischoff, I love it.
Yeah, just a taste, just a measure of revenge right there for Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle. And when it comes to Wes Briscoe, Garrett Bischoff, and all the members of Aces and Eights, we know that Angle and Joe, they want more.
Bring it on, baby. We don't hide.
But the question remains, how much is that interference and how is it going to weigh in to the decision of Hulk Hogan tonight? Is that going to damage the chances for Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe? Great to be here in London. Standing by in the back, TNA President Dixie Carter with British Boot Camp.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall and is your TNA 10 main event of the evening. When the bell rings, the man in charge, TNA official, Mr. Brian Hebner. And now, introducing the combatants. First of all, standing to my left, he weighed in this morning at 282 pounds and comes to us from the Isle of Samoa. He is the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. And now, introducing, standing in the corner to my right, he weighed in this morning at 234 pounds and comes to us from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He is professional wrestling's only Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle.
Well, to me, the accomplishments of these two men in TNA and Impact Wrestling unparalleled. And here we go, face-to-face, head-to-head. Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, they renew the rivalry.
I think I'm going to try and call this match down the middle, not as a member, a proud member of Aces and Eights.
Okay.
You think that's a good idea?
I think it's a great idea. So there's going to be no prejudice on your part.
None.
Especially, and I know you're very close with both men. It's been established, the managerial role that you had, the advisory role that you had with Samoa Joe. At the same time, I think you were a traveling partner for many years with Kurt Angle as well.
Absolutely, yes. Kurt Angle and I trained together many years, traveled together, and wrestled each other many times. And sure, I know both these men very well. I humbly say I'm probably qualified more than anyone to commentate their match.
So we are expecting, in terms of color commentary in this match, the best that Taz has to offer.
Well, I didn't say that.
I mean, come on, you set us up for that. Nobody knows these guys better than you, inside out. Travel the road with both of them.
Pressure on myself.
So all of a sudden, I think if I'm in your position, I'd be the first to brag. Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to hear the best commentary job in wrestling history from Taz.
I can't put that pressure on myself. Working out here with you is like working with one leg as it is.
What?
So, I mean, I can't, it's hard. I got my back against the wall as it is out here. Nice go behind right there by Kurt Angle.
You don't need to do play-by-play. I'll take care of the play-by-play. Just what we need from you is analysis. In-depth, inside. Be very perceptive when you do it.
This match is 3 minutes old. You've done not one piece of play-by-play. You've been ripping it in your sarcastic tone. That was a good shoulder block right there by Joe. Jump in today anytime you want.
Let's talk about the backgrounds of these two guys as it pertains to TNA. Samoa Joe started in 2005. Kurt Angle made his TNA debut in 2006. Now, when Samoa Joe started in TNA, he had an 18-month, year and a half, for those of you scoring at home, undefeated streak. Who do you think it was that ended that undefeated streak?
The guy who has a leg problem right now, who was just limping around the ring, would be Kurt Angle, correct?
Correct.
Right, okay.
What did I set you up? I put that one on the tee.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Lob.
Home run. And Samoa Joe has the weight advantage. He's got to try to keep doing what he's doing here, running through Angle, and Angle again trying to break that momentum.
And on the part of Kurt Angle, one would anticipate that he's going to try and work on the legs of Samoa Joe. Takes away a lot of Joe's striking prowess, and at the same time, could eventually set him up for that patented ankle lock submission.
Well, right now, Kurt Angle needs to worry about trying to stop this force, this full power arsenal of Samoa Joe, because this has been all Joe from the beginning of the of this match starting.
I think it's Samoa Joe trying to exploit that size, power, the weight advantage that he has, and the striking superiority of Joe, the rapid fire right and then the elbow.
Kurt Angle seems to have some kind of a cut right above his left bicep. I can't really tell what's going on there or how that happened. It's a slice of some sorts, but Kurt Angle not able really to get much going. Maybe that double axe handle right there would help. Sorry, I'm doing play-by-play, Mike, because you didn't.
Quick flurry of offense from Samoa Joe at the top of this match. Finally halted by Kurt Angle, who now tries to gain the momentum. Off the ropes, the clothesline misses, and it's Joe with a big-time leg lariat.
Sure was. Almost like a modified Shining Wizard.
It's not bad.
Thank you. I've done this before.
Shining Wizard.
Yeah, exactly.
Wizard. I know it's part of your French background today.
The French, the douche.
The douche and the Wizard. Pin, lateral press, and 2 for Joe.
Oh, Kurt Angle, again, just having a problem with that right leg. It's wrapped up right there. Got knee brace, not quite sure what's going on with Kurt Angle's leg. Kurt, you know, he's always been like that, Mike. He kind of keeps any injuries to himself. He doesn't, if there's a medical report, he doesn't want it out in public.
Watch this knee drop, pin, and 2, go ahead.
Very smart of him, you know, he doesn't want anyone to know he's got that chink in his armor.
But now the fact that he's got his leg taped, he's got the knee taped.
Right.
I mean, that tells Samoa Joe it's like a neon sign.
It's like a bright, you wanted to say a bright neon sign.
No, I just wanted to say neon sign.
Right. So it is. And, you know, and I'm surprised at this very moment that Joe is not working on that right leg. But don't really know what's wrong with the leg because Kurt hasn't really, you know, released any official statement about that.
Didn't even tell you?
No, I don't talk to him much anymore. He don't like me anymore.
I bet.
You know what I mean? Most people don't like me anymore. That's another story. Uh-oh.
Watch this.
Able to pull off that suplex. Maybe not the same impact behind it because he's got that bad wheel.
Yeah, it felt that way. And while Kurt hit the belly-to-belly, and you can see him grimace as he gets back up to his feet and obviously favoring the leg, certainly felt like he didn't have the full torque and the full snap behind the suplex that he normally does.
Well, and also it's at a point in the match where Joe had all this momentum going, and that suplex was enough to slow Joe down, though.
Let's talk title histories. Kurt Angle, 5-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion, 2-time World Tag Team Champion. He also held the X Division Championship. As a result, he's the 2nd Triple Crown Champion in company history. But in terms of titles, Samoa Joe can do him one better. World Heavyweight Champion, TV Champion, 2-time World Tag Champ, 4-time X Division Champion. As a result, Samoa Joe, the 3rd ever Grand Slam champion, holding 4 titles in our company's history.
Yeah, when you have the talent and the ability and the legacy that both of these men have in the ring, and I don't mean referee, you know, basically you're going to have all those championships listed, all those accolades, as those of us with a vast vocabulary would say.
Let me write that one down.
Accolades.
Accolades, yeah. Gotcha. Use that one next time.
Yes, not acolytes, accolades.
Referee Brian Hebner checking, whoa, almost like a wake-up call there for Samoa Joe. Realization set in and the light bulb went off that he needed to get things going here against Kurt.
What a fighter. Joe with that striking ability. Ooh! High elbow right across the jaw. Notice the follow through after the elbow by Angle.
And off that elbow, oh, just 2.
Notice the follow through. That's the key with a strike like that. You follow through, you get more momentum behind it, more power. You know what I mean?
In other words, drive it all the way home.
All the way through. Like a baseball player. He swings at a ball with the bat. He don't stop on contact. Don't stop on contact. Please don't interrupt me. You don't stop. I'm like Cal Ripken out here. You don't stop on contact.
Cal Ripken?
All the way through the ball. All the way through the ball.
Come on. 2013.
Yeah.
I mean, Cal Ripken's good.
Good. One of the best of all time.
Right. Come on, 2013. No, give me something. Give me David Wright. I'm trying to bring it home for you in your backyard.
And they're not doing too good. But right now, neither is Joe. He's not doing too good either. Because, you know, you got Angle, even though he's got that one bad leg, he's not able to have that quickness behind anything he wants to do.
Again, we just saw it, just on a move like that. Out of the corner, it's Samoa Joe. And that one had the power and impact that Joe wanted, while just moments earlier, when Kurt went to shoot him off into the corner, you could see that Kurt probably sent him in at about 70%.
Maybe about 68%.
68. Let me check my velocity meter. You're right.
I don't want to correct
68.7.
68. Yeah, there you go.
I admit it when I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, that's a lot. Both men now slugging it out. Look at this. Bing, bang, bang, boom, boom. Look at that shot across the upper pectoral region.
Followed up by the boot. A backsplash with 300 pounds across the chest, the pin, and Brian Hebner counts just 2.
Well, looks like Brian Hebner borrowed his father's sneakers. That's weird in itself. But anyway, you see by the singlet getting dragged up to his feet. Kurt Angle's in trouble here. Oh, wait, maybe not, maybe not. Oh!
Kurt unleashes the European uppercut and able to finally that time get down, hip torque behind the first suplex, and the grip still there.
Well, look at how close Kurt Angle keeps his body, his chest to the middle of the back of Samoa Joe to keep that tightness for that suplex. And Joe knows that. That's why he had to break out of that grip. Wow.
Angle rocked and then dropped by the Samoa Joe kick. As referee Brian Hebner checks on both men.
Yeah, both men down. You got to figure whoever can get to their feet first might gain that advantage, because this has been a pretty evenly contested contest.
Especially this deep into the match. And Kurt Angle going to use the ring ropes to be the first to get up to his feet. Quickness of Angle, even with the bad wheel, able to move out of the way. There he is! Drives him down. Pin and no, just 2.
Kurt Angle's thinking, what do I have to do here? I just nailed that Angle slam pretty hard. Didn't get the win.
And when the straps come down, you know that it's the ferocious side, the ferocity of Kurt Angle, and there's the ankle lock that we anticipated at the outset of the match.
Yeah, this might be it right here for Samoa Joe. He might be done.
That was amazing that Joe was able to kick out and power out of the Angle slam. But now, Kurt has him in a place where Joe uses the momentum to not only break that ankle lock, but put Kurt into the corner.
That was just a very smart roll through by Joe to break that ankle lock. You know what here?
Muscle buster out of the corner.
Yeah, muscle
Watch
buster.
Kurt rolls down. And is he going to go ankle lock? It's exactly what it is. Back to the submission again.
Yeah, in the middle of the ring. Nowhere for Samoa Joe to go. I don't know if he's going to be able to roll through again. I doubt it, because Kurt's got good leverage on that ankle lock.
Again, Joe able to turn it over, but and then drops him down, and now he's got the rear naked choke. Got the legs as well. I think Joe really has Kurt in the position that Joe wants right here.
Sure does. Has his head reached all the way back. That surgically repaired neck. But right there, you see back to the ankle. Kurt Angle realized where he was. He's modifying that ankle lock, rolling through. He's going to get right back to that good old-fashioned ankle lock by Kurt Angle. There it is.
What a series of reversals and counters between Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. At this point, it's Angle who's in control. As Joe, you can just sense that he's anticipating a tap out.
Too much pride, but was smart to kick out like that.
Pride, as well as maybe the size advantage of Joe that he was able to roll through. And now, back to the Kakina clutch one more time.
What a match, man. Back and forth, now with these 2 submissions.
And you can sense that Kurt is wary from the choke. As Kurt drops to a knee. And now gets right back up. Kurt's got to come up with something. It's desperation, but it works. Wait a minute. Back to the well again. Second Angle slam. Could be the difference maker. Leg hook. Got him. Yes, he did.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle.
What a perfect way to cap off our TNA 10 pay-per-view event.
This is Kurt Angle. We found out last week live that Kurt Angle, no longer the director of wrestling operations. Kurt Angle is now on the active roster.
Look at the 5 of you running your mouths about being family. What I see are a bunch of thugs. And Eric Young, you're gonna pay for your sins tonight. Because I guarantee you, Bobby Roode's gonna kick your ass.
Hey, Kurt, I suggest you be very careful how you tread. I mean, you're still walking. We haven't hurt you too bad, yet.
Well, I'm glad you did that favor for me. You see, I stepped down as executive director, and I can no longer book you in any matches. But what I can do is make each and every one of you tap out.
Uh-oh. Who's gonna make tap?
You don't want none of the BDC. You don't want to mess with the beat-down clan, Kurt. You ain't ready. You ain't about that life.
Oh, big shot there by Kurt Angle. Samoa Joe is not backing down to Kurt at all.
Can't just get in Angle's face and think nothing's gonna happen. Security in the middle of this whole thing here, trying to.
Whoa, Joe. Joe, you want a piece of me, right? You want to go with me? You want to go with Kurt Angle? All right, I say we do it right now.
Whoa, Angle Joe, it's gonna happen right after the break. Samoa Joe nor Kurt Angle wanted to wait until we were back from commercial break in this one-on-one matchup. Joined in progress, Kurt Angle with a quick start, Taz.
Yeah, Kurt Angle definitely didn't want to wait to your point, and you see right here, Kurt Angle bringing the offense during the break, had Joe reeling and rocking, great snap suplex, but then Joe, strong style clothesline, short clothesline, leveled the playing field, and here we are. Now Kurt fighting from underneath.
And again, Kurt Angle back on the active roster, went one-on-one with MVP and was victorious last week, but then it was later that night, MVP flipped the whole script on everyone here on Impact Wrestling. Samoa Joe, low-key, MVP, Kenny King, now the beat-down clan. MVP talking about how they are family.
Yeah, he sure did. MVP definitely flipped the script to your point. And just right here, you want to talk about the history of Kurt Angle's knee. And Joe knows that. You see this well-placed knee bar on Kurt Angle with a man with surgically repaired knee. So good job. You see the BDC on the hand written on the tape of Samoa Joe. Don't really know the motivation of why Joe would join MVP's new clan. I mean, we heard MVP talk about their friendship, him and Low-Key, but I guess that was enough. I don't know.
Well, MVP touched on the fact that these guys go back a long way, back to their days on the independent circuit, coming up together. Perhaps they saw an opportunity when Kurt Angle stepped down as the director of wrestling operations.
Nice opportunity for a drag and screw, and I hate to lead you, but I could tell he was going to do that because that's what you want to do. That's a very tough move on the lateral collateral ligament of your knee, and you saw how well done that drag and screw was. And now look at this, lock it in. Oh, I thought it was going. It looks like maybe a heel hook. Joe's back is so big I can't see his Kurt Angle's foot.
And Angle's got to watch his shoulders here to make sure he's not pinned to the mat during this submission hold here. This isn't a traditional figure four, though, right?
No, it's not. Wait, hold on. We got something going on backstage. We got a producer backstage. Josh, you hear this? What's going on here?
It appears that something happening as we are looking for.
Excuse me, Bobby. Excuse me, champ. Bobby.
Well, we saw that earlier when MVP called Lashley to come out. We played Lashley's music and everything, and no Lashley. Where's the champ? I just saw one of our producers trying to find Lashley, so in his dressing room, not sure where he's at.
Ooh, and you know what it's like to be a world champion. You pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah. I'm not a world champion anymore, and
I'm sure everyone talking about the fact that Lashley nowhere to be found via social media. Great takedown there, German suplex by Kurt Angle. We want you to join in on all the action. Follow us via Twitter at Impact Wrestling, and of course go to impactwrestling.com for all the latest and breaking news here on Impact.
Well, you got three, not one, not two, but three German suplexes by Kurt Angle. You see Kurt grabbing at his knee. There's a lot of torque that goes in your knees when you back arch to suplex a guy, especially someone the size of Joe.
And a lot of history between Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle. Samoa Joe went 18 months undefeated here in TNA. His first loss at the hands of Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, of course, in the TNA Hall of Fame. He's the only wrestler to hold the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, the IWGP World Championship, the World Heavyweight title, the WCW and WWE Championship.
And now there's that rear choke by Samoa Joe. All those titles, what didn't help him? Maybe not, it didn't help. Ankle lock for sure.
Kurt Angle looking to put away Samoa Joe here. Will Joe tap out? Will Kurt Angle go 2-0 in consecutive weeks against the Beatdown Clan, sending a message perhaps to MVP?
Nice roll through. Oh, good job by Joe. But you saw earlier when Joe hooked on that rear choke, Kurt didn't let it go. Again, slam. Again, grabbing at his knee.
Samoa Joe about 290 pounds. Angle into the cover, and Joe pops free at 2.
Again, to back up, when Kurt was caught in that rear choke by Joe, you see how quick Kurt slipped out of it. You don't want Joe to have that choke on too long, or you're done.
Impromptu matchup here. Samoa Joe didn't back down at all when Kurt Angle called out the BDC, the Beatdown Clan.
Uh-oh!
And Samoa Joe snatches Angle out of midair.
Midair, a version of basically a Uranagi, just driving Kurt Angle down on that surgically repaired neck. All the issues with Kurt's neck and spine. And not only that, again, as we talked about his knee issues in this match. I think Kurt might right now be wishing he's back on that, being the guy making matches around here instead of being in the ring.
Yeah, wearing a suit perhaps, not a bad idea if you're Kurt Angle.
Muscle buster right here, nice counter on the
Angle
muscle buster.
slips through, looking for another ankle lock here.
And he's got it. Countered out of the rear choke early, now countered out of the muscle buster.
Smart move here by Joe, perhaps trying to get to his stomach.
Yeah, exactly, trying to turn this back to kick off. But relentless, tenacious is Kurt Angle with that great grip, the wrist and finger strength of Kurt.
Samoa Joe trying to roll through.
That's the key to being a great submissionist or grappler is your grip, your finger strength. Look at Joe, might want to tap out here.
Samoa Joe in the center of the ring. Joe may have no choice here. Tries to roll through again, and Angle right off of referee Brian Hebner.
Inadvertently, Angle takes out the ref. Uh-oh, ref didn't see it because he's out and down.
That was not inadvertent by Joe at all.
That choke again, that rear choke.
And Kurt Angle taps out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match as a result of a tap out, Samoa Joe.
Tell you what, right now, you don't see that much Kurt Angle tapping out. That's a massive victory.
Whoa.
For the Beatdown Clan.
There you see Kenny King. Look, and this.
It's living up to their name. And Eric Young, who's not part of the Beatdown Clan, is out here helping out.
Eric Young has a vested interest in what MVP is trying to do here on Impact Wrestling. But again, MVP just sending a message not only to Kurt Angle, not only to Bobby Roode.
Speaking of Bobby Roode, here comes the former world champion.
And Bobby Roode, you got to figure he's going to go right after Eric Young.
There's that mutual respect that he has towards Kurt Angle and also the agenda with EY.
Don't forget, later tonight, Bobby Roode, EY, no disqualifications.